Hello, everyone. Hopefully it sounds okay. It's the one thing I didn't check. Our camera's being funny. Chat, not you chat, but our chat windows being funny. Everything is not working for me today in the Easy Allies studio, but it sounds all right. What are you looking for?
I think we need Pikachu in these trying times.
We do. Ugh. I am not a technical specialist. I'm not even a community specialist. None of my special skills are going to be on display here. We are here to celebrate the special skills of our wonderful community, and thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, what's up, dude?
Let's do a showcase,
Let's
dude.
do it.
Back in the studio.
Back?
How many showcases did you do in the Zoom area? One or two or three? I'm trying to think how many we get to in a rotation.
I don't know,
Like,
man. I don't know, man. Time is a flat circle.
Exactly, especially in the last, since the beginning of 2020. Hey, everybody. This will be a Ben-focused showcase. Ben is here. All of the allies that submitted material for the showcase knew Ben was going to be here. So there will be metal. There will be Speaking of Doom. There will be, yes, there will be cats.
Okay.
There will be Hollow Knight.
Okay.
We're going to have a good time.
All good things.
We're going to have a good time. This is our $10 and above tier at patreon.com/easyallies. Once a month, I put up a showcase post. Next month's showcase is going to be Daniel Bloodworth. I believe it's going to be on the 9th because we have a lot of stuff happening at the beginning of that month. So this pushed back. Usually it's like the first week of the month, usually on a Tuesday. We get together, we go through all of this amazing stuff sent to us via that post for $10 and up patrons. We have drawings, we have photographs, we have screenshots. We're going to play a little Jeopardy today. Jeoparody, it's called. But we're going to have some trivia, some videos, some wonderful musical arrangements, and a little splash of VO in there, thanks to Jesse Blue. And comments, which we're going to kick off right at the top. Look, I even made a jazzy, I even made a jazzy title. I was like, well, if we're going to look a little strange on a webcam, I might as well put the community showcase up right here so people know it's the showcase. So if you want to be a part of this, you can go to patreon.com for $10. You can submit stuff for the showcase. If you just want to watch it, we do it at the beginning of every month. We do it live here on Twitch, and we celebrate all the awesome stuff that people have made. If you want to check out more, when I'm done with this, I'll make this post public. You can go to patreon.com/easyallies. You don't have to spend a dime. You can just go check out the public post for the showcase. It is one of our tabs on the top of patreon.com/easyallies. Community showcase. You can click on that. See the August showcase, which we're doing right now, and all the showcases before that. If you're like, I want to check out that person's SoundCloud or YouTube page, I want to watch another Happy Gaming review, which I have to cut off. He gives me the 6-minute video, and I got to cut it off at 3 minutes because that's the rules.
That's the rules.
And then check its man. And that's just what we do.
That's just what we do.
But we're going to do comments that I'm going to do off of my
SoundCloud.
I'm going to do off of my phone because my laptop is running chat right now. Easy Allies, Patreon. Patreon.com/Easy Allies. Kicking it off with, who do you think? You make a guess?
Alexander
Zurianov. Hello, Ben and Brandon.
My boy from Russia.
This and last February, I submitted to Community Showcase my ranking of all games I've played from respective years. The 500-word limit left only room for brief explanations, and you were very puzzled with some of my entries. So today, I'll describe how I'm evaluating games. Firstly, I'm a PC gamer, and therefore I expect constant technological evolution. This doesn't mean that I need ray tracing and visual novels, but when applicable, I expect games to look better, to have denser environments, smarter AI, etc., than games from previous years. This isn't a small demand, and I realize that pushing technology forward can't be done flawlessly, so I don't mind bugs, crashes, unstable frame rate, server issues, and other technical problems. I can also forgive a dated presentation and cheap games. However, expensive titles must deliver, and I don't accept platform limitation as an excuse. If Ghost of Tsushima has poorer textures and lighting than Assassin's Creed Valhalla on PC because it's on PS4, then it shouldn't double Valhalla's price tag because I shouldn't pay a premium for an inferior experience. And since it does cost twice as much, I call Ghost's visuals underwhelming, which is tough because, whenever we step outside of countries, outside of the country we live in, prices go all over the place.
Wait, Ghost of Tsushima's visuals underwhelming?
Because it costs twice as much as Assassin's Creed Valhalla in Russia.
I see.
Secondly, I don't like it when a game blocks my progression. I don't want to grind to get good at combat, to replay the same level, basically to spend a lot of time on something I'm not interested in. Not interested is the keywords here. If I want to do it, then it's fine. For example, in Hades, I wasn't interested in the story and the gear, so replaying the first zone was just a waste of my time. But I loved combat in Doom, so I didn't mind dying and restarting the encounter. Next, I like the game a lot if I'm invested in its characters and lore. I tend to like smart heroes, and I don't like irrational ones. I feel you there. Man, even if I'm into a story, if somebody just makes a completely dumb decision. Watching Korra right now, smart people on that show.
Good.
Smart people doing smart things, very skilled with their abilities, and making good calls. When plans go awry, they tried their best. Unfortunately, the complete formula is still a mystery to me, so I can't explain why I didn't care about anyone in God of War, Half-Life Alyx, or Fire Emblem Three Houses, but it got incredibly attached to the cast of Apex Legends. It just is what it is.
I don't understand. That's all I have to say.
I live for the community showcase to give us hot takes.
Yeah, those are the hottest.
Zirionov has some of the hottest.
Dude, my face is melting off.
He's first in line with the hottest take.
Yeah.
But it makes sense because all of this is coming out of the community oven. Alexander Zirionov's first in line. It's gonna be piping.
Yeah.
If it's a strawberry pie, you don't want to put your thumb into that.
Yeah.
Ooh. Finally, I adore games that have a lasting impression. It can be a memorable story or scene, or a bold new idea, a clever puzzle, a score I want to listen to outside of the game, something that keeps the game in my mind long after I finish it. Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony had lots of that, and this made it my 2017 GOTY.
We're back on board, Alexander. We're back on board.
He knows. He knows how to write this. There are other factors. It's like, what's the San Dimas football rules? It's like, they're just like, and that's why I find this one game frustrating, or this thing that you did, Ben. Persona 5.
Yeah,
Okay,
they know how to get me back.
However, there's one aspect that overrides everything else. If the game manages to make me emotional, it is the best game. This happens extremely rarely, and I didn't have such a game in recent years, although Cyberpunk 27 got very close. Well, that's most of it. Hopefully now you'll be less puzzled when I submit my next ranking. You're much less puzzled now, right?
No, but
On the...
being puzzled is part of the fun.
Well, I like when, unfortunately, the complete formula is still a mystery to me. That seems to be at the very root of any kind of criticism. It's like, what are we chasing? When we say, something's not a 10, what does that mean? And so that's always, it's a very, very difficult thing to quantify.
Right.
And while this was a roller coaster ride, enough, I love that you I love that you have this. I love that you have a very clear. Let me let you know where I'm coming from, folks. Gonna have to dig that one up before your next post. Alex AI, hi Ben and Jones, how are you today?
I'm good.
Nice.
I'm good.
Hopefully fine. In this year's July, many things happened that I previously accepted as possible. For example, I finally beaten Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne HD Remaster.
Nice.
I never owned a PS2 or a PS3.
That one's a mountain, yeah.
And even with the PS4, Europe never got Nocturne. To me, this game became another case of accepting that it is never going to happen, so I moved on to enjoy the newer titles and kept looking at it from afar. And yet, here we are.
I didn't know Europe never got Nocturne, even when they released it on PS3. Huh, that's interesting. Okay.
It is such a weird game, to be honest, but that does not matter. Even though it is slightly up-resed, you can still get a glimpse of what could have been potentially, what it could have potentially been like, to still get a glimpse, to experience this game back when it released, although I have to admit, I would have struggled with understanding the story at a younger age. Another big surprise for me was the official first ever release outside of Japan of a Super Robot Wars mainline title.
Dude, this is Alex AI's fight. This and Shining Force 2 are Alex AI's fight.
It has not happened yet, as the release date of SRW 30 is October 28th in Germany, but the fact that alone I can easily wishlist this game on Steam right now is great. To put this to give this some perspective, I believe most gamers out there have asked themselves at least once what their personal favorite game was. In my case, over the years, I have given it quite a lot of thought. Right now, my answer would be Shining Force 2 for the sheer amount of joy I can derive from its title theme alone at any given moment. However, if I were to broaden the question to what is my favorite franchise, the answer is Super Robot Wars. It did not hit me immediately, but over the years I've realized that this is the only franchise where I've beaten at least 14 titles, and most of those at least twice. The SRW games are simply my comfort food in gaming. You get passionate voice acting, a huge amount of different music, strange, cool battle animations, and a robust SRPG to enjoy. While you can easily argue about the difficulty, story, art style, etc., it will never change the fact that any time a new SRW comes out, I am there. I will have a good time, and that is enough for me. That's it for now. Hope everyone has a great August, and let's get a chance to enjoy the FF Pixel Remaster music. Can't wait for 4, 5, and 6. So respect Alex.
That music.
P.S. Mandatory reminder about Shining Force 2 for Ben. Anytime you want to pick it up, I will be there. Yeah, I gotta go listen to that stuff. Is that like on the Square Enix channel, or was that like on Spotify, or what? Like, I saw people talking about the tracks, but I didn't.
I mean, it's
see Square post it.
It's in the new Pixel remasters, the games themselves.
But people are listening to it now. Like, do you know where that?
Oh, I'm sure it's uploaded on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I have not sought it out. But
Yeah, I kind of want to save that. Oof, how much time am I going to devote to all of that?
I bought all 6 on Steam, and then bought the first 3 on my phone. And haven't had a chance to dig into them yet, but they're there. They're waiting for me.
I wouldn't mind. I think 3 and 4 interest me the most. 5 is fun because I remember 5 so well from when we did the retro. I played 6 so many times, but it's been a while since I played 4.
4 is excellent.
Yeah. 4's a lot of fun. Sage Mode Q. Yo, Brandon and Ben. So these past few months I've been really trying to clear out some games from my backlog. And one game that's been on my list ever since I heard it was coming to Games Pass last year was Octopath Traveler.
Oh yeah.
I put out about 15 hours into it and I really like it. One criticism I had, and I think you guys at Easy Allies also had the same criticism, was the weird lack of synergy between the main characters and all their stories.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
It's just a little weird when your character is having their big emotional backstory and then you get into a battle and all of a sudden your full party just comes out of nowhere with no real mention of them at all. Despite that, I think that the individual stories themselves are strong enough to make up for the lack of cohesive story between all the 8 characters. I like that I was super into some stories and I'm like, I don't care at all about playing as this character, but
yeah,
I'm glad I'm here doing this. This is fun.
There were some character stories that I just was not into, but in terms of them tying together, if I remember correctly, they do tie together, but you have to fight an extremely difficult boss, which is actually very fun to kind of try to do.
I got there. I stood at the precipice. I opened the doors.
No, it's
and
that boss is
Gozer stepped out, and I was like, "Oh, it's okay."
That boss is a fucking pain.
It's like the end of God of War. I was like, it's all right."
Yeah, it's
the
a real
ending.
Yeah.
Other than that, other really good stories, obviously the art style and the battle system are the true highlights of the game. Nothing out there really looks quite like Octopath. It's very unique in that way. You know what I think is actually better? My favorite thing, more than the systems, was just visually the impact of like when you would charge those babies up and let go. Like that always felt so fan, you know.
And some of like the giant boss sprites are great. It's interesting because now you've got Project Triangle Strategy, which has a very similar style, and you've got Dragon Quest III HD, which is a very similar style. So I hope that style doesn't become less special as a result. I don't know.
Are we a ways away from Dragon Quest III, or is that this year?
Now I'm doubting myself. I definitely don't think they've announced a date or year yet.
I don't remember.
Because the thing is it was a Japanese presentation, and so they didn't talk about Western releases for any of that stuff. So, yeah, 2022, I think, is where it's at. I bet summer 2022 is what I would put money on.
Thank you, Subs. The battle system is simple enough to pick up quickly, but as you get deeper into the combat and unlock more characters and more moves, there's a lot more depth to it that really keeps you entertained, even after grinding for a while, which I love to do in RPGs. I'm all in and really enjoying my time with it so far, and I can't wait to see how the story finishes, and who knows, maybe the characters will have some good interactions in the final act. There were some good, fun conversations.
Yeah.
That was the other thing, too, is they were so random that, like, some heavy stuff would happen, and then they would just be like, wah, wah. I'm like, oh, okay, that little vignette was a little poorly timed. Other than video games, there is one show that I've been rewatching, and I'm really glad that Ben is on the showcase, because yes, it is an anime, and I just want to gush about it. My very classic anime, and that is Samurai Champloo.
Nice.
My brother got me the Blu-ray for my birthday last year, and I'm finally getting around to rewatching it, and boy, did I forget how beautiful this show is. The music, man, the freaking music.
Yeah.
Obviously, anything involving Shinichiro Watanabe is going to be incredible. Cowboy Bebop is, of course, one of my favorites and a lot of people's favorite anime. But I'm going to say something bold, which is I think that Samurai Champloo is right there with Bebop when it comes to quality and needs more respect. I mean, seriously, can you think of a cooler combo than lo-fi hip-hop and samurais? I mean, it just goes together so perfectly like peanut butter and jelly. All in all, I just want people to experience this amazing show if you have not. I believe the entire show is on Hulu if you're interested. I'll finish this with my monthly reminder that Hitman 3 came out this year, is an incredible game, and should not be forgotten come GOTY time. Love and respect, Sage Mode Q. I remember making that at the time. I gotta be honest, I don't remember. Shout out to their 7 Deadly Sins, because he just pops up once a month where he's just like, hey, more DLC. And you're like, right, you were doing all of that. James Davey, hello Brandon and Ben. I want to start off this showcase letting Ben tell us his thoughts on Binary Domain, because apparently he really liked it.
Yeah. Okay, so Binary Domain. So Binary Domain is a game that I think was it's a wild game. I think that's the perfect word to describe it. Where the nuts and bolts of it, I think could use a little work. There's some things where it's definitely not a flawless game. It's not going to stand next to your super polished AAA giants, but it has so much heart, and its story is batshit insane. Like it kind of starts crazy, and then some of which I won't spoil, of course, but some of the revelations that happen are just nuts, like Asura's Wrath nuts or Deadly Premonition nuts, like on that level of insane. Where like I sometimes with Huber, like I just enjoy bringing. I haven't done it in a long time, but I enjoy bringing it up, and so I think it's just kind of one of those games that has that sort of like crazy attitude that not a lot of people have experienced. I would describe like Shadows of the Damned or No More Heroes or like Jet Set Radio, that all kind of have that attitude and vibe that you just don't see enough, I think, in the industry anymore.
Personally, I thought it was a very cool and competent third-person shooter that I remember mostly for the sewers you slide down and seeing the circuitry of the robots being ripped apart. Video game criticism, left turn, is something that can ruffle many feathers, but to me, I'm very open to critiquing games to a point where it might seem that I don't enjoy video games, but it's the exact opposite. I love video games so much that I don't hate any games at all, not even deceptive pieces of garbage like Police Chase. That's one certainly a candidate for a future episode of Trash Babies. The reason why it's deceptive is the trailer depicts something more exciting and thrilling than the gameplay when you experience it. Ooh, I hate that. I remember, I think I've told this story in Showcase, but I got mad at a Universal Studios commercial one time when I was a kid because they like used like stuntmen and actors and stuff, and I was like, "That's not what happens on that ride." My brother's like, "Let me tell you about advertising." I was shocked, I tell you. Still, I don't hate it because it's an education on what a quality video game shouldn't be. But if you do get round to playing it, be prepared to be drenched in utter dismay. Police Chase. I wonder how old that game is. I've heard that Ben has expressed an interest in getting into WWE.
Correct.
If that is the case, then I highly recommend he watches the Attitude and Ruthless Aggression era content straight away.
Yes,
that's where
been told that.
The real quality and zest is. Personally, I lean more towards the Ruthless Aggression era because it has an urban spirit about it, kind of like a Def Jam Fight for New York style grit that's so absorbing. But if you really want to get stuck into the best days of the WWF/WWE, then playing WWF WrestleMania 2000, WWF No Mercy, WWE Shut Your Mouth, and WWE Here Comes the Pain are unmistakably the best WWE games there are. We're playing Here Comes the Pain tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I've never played it.
It's funny because like I've just very lightly dipped my toe into professional wrestling, and I've just been very like, again, tiny amounts picking away at Hell in a Cell 2021, and I've had such a whiplash of experiences where like the first couple of times I watched it, I was like, this first match, I was like, I'm into this. This is like kind of cool. I'm enjoying the theatrics. And then the second match started, and I'm like, this is lame as fuck, and I just turned it off. And so I've had both reactions to professional wrestling so far.
It's like any good variety show. You know?
Yeah.
You might not like every act.
Yeah.
Following on from the Q&A question I posted this month and the tier maker, where Ben dominated the Metallica tier maker discussion, I asked for thoughts on those 8 bands because I was curious. They all have one thing in common. They have been featured on WWE programming either as PPV themes or in video packages they put together. WWE was responsible for getting me into appreciate nu metal, alt-rock, and various other subgenres of metal and rock. Living in the UK, the mainstream scene is overbearing with soft, safe, and otherwise ear-grating music, so when I started noticing themes in these WWE pay-per-views, I immediately got hooked. Like anyone else, I appreciate music that sounds good to me, and I don't detest mainstream stuff. I just find we're constantly and repetitiously beaten over the head with it, and I don't like head trauma. I was wondering whether Ben knows the metal band Blood Simple.
No, I don't.
Okay. Lastly, which Tekken intro do you like the most?
The one that immediately comes to mind is just because it was the Tekken that I put the most time into as a kid, was Tekken Tag Tournament. Like that intro, like dun 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 dun. I have a lot of nostalgia for Tekken Tag Tournament and Tekken 3 as well, but Tekken Tag for sure.
I really dig the Tekken 2, 3, Tag Tournament, and 5 intros. Thanks for all you do. Love and respect. Brandon K. Gann. As I said last month, I wanted to spend this submission on the 6 games I played for the first time over June and July, half on systems I've owned and half due to finally securing a PlayStation 5. Without further ado, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, which is a gaping hole in my backlog. I've never touched it. Xbox Series X, I was able to play it in one sitting after finally getting headphones, making the playthrough worth it. While I don't like the ending, plus the combat implementation could have been better, though I do like its foundation, it's hard for me to critique it beyond that. It didn't impact me like I wanted, and I'll give Senua's Saga a shot whenever it comes out, but I'm surprised I didn't like it more than I was hoping. Astro's Playroom, PlayStation 5, aka PlayStation the Game. It's a solid platformer, and I enjoyed all the Easter eggs and references from so many games in PlayStation at large. While motion controls are my lone frustration, it's still delightful, but there's no replay value. It takes 5 hours to do everything, and there isn't a good reason to go back to it. That sounds amazing. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard, and that's like the greatest asset. It's the best thing I've heard about that game. Yoku's Island Express, Xbox Series X.
That's one I really want to get to.
First hearing about it courtesy of Mr. Casanova on a stream long ago. This is such a jolly time. Going around delivering letters and packages as a small dung beetle where the core game... Oh, right, where the core game design centers around pinball mechanics in a Metroidvania world. I loved the music, and the story is nice, albeit simple, but it does have a couple of quirks like a way too busy map, plus an irritating swinging mechanic introduced towards the end. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard on PlayStation 4. I've said it several times, Mr. Huber's playthrough of this had me become a fan, and after watching several playthroughs over the years, I finally decided to play it myself. Outside of the 2 DLCs, Nightmare and Ethan Must Die, I've played everything there is to do, and it's a good time. Never thought I would want, have, and ultimately enjoy a Resident Evil game, but here we are.
Yes.
You know what I was thinking? Like, I remember recognizing that Resident Evil Resident Evil Village looks better than Resident Evil Biohazard, whatever the hell they're calling all these. 7's in the title, right? It was 7.
I mean, people just call it 7.
They just dropped it for Village.
Yeah.
Like, 8 definitely looks better than 7, but like they both just look so good.
Yeah.
Like that engine's just so solid. I remember like stopping and being like, yeah, it just looks good. There's no point that I'm like, whoa, that looks way better than 7 did, because 7 looked amazing.
Yeah, 7 does that late 70s horror aesthetic really, really well. Like it's very aesthetically strong.
Yeah, that series is in such a good place, just in terms of darkness. Like that game knows how to dark. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, PlayStation 5, another outstanding RNC game. In a previous showcase earlier this year, I gave a tiered ranking of the franchise after doing a complete series replay. Now, Rift Apart stands second overall on my personal list. I still love Tools of Destruction more, but Rift Apart is easily the best of any Rift Apart is easily the best of any It's easily the best of any RNC, other than Tools of Destruction.
Ratchet & Clank, yeah.
Right. Also, Rivet and Kit are wonderful additions and need to be mainstays moving forward. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade and Intermission, PlayStation 5. I replayed Remake for the PlayStation 5's enhancements and loved it just as much as I did last year, and Intermission was a delight. Yes. Short, compact, to the point, it's a wonderful side story, and the endings leave me perma-hyped for the next installments. Finally, I know Final Fantasy VII is getting so much new stuff with First Soldier, Ever Crisis, more remake parts, but can we please get a standalone that's just Fort Condor? I am so addicted and I need more.
It is. It's really fun.
Is that brand new? What's Fort Condor?
So it's a minigame within the Yuffie DLC, the Intermission DLC, and it's a real-time strategy, and you like have a deck and you have to... You have 2 teams, right? So it's you and an AI, and you have to go and you have to destroy.
I've heard about this.
You have to destroy their base.
Oh my god!
It's really, really fun.
I would probably, that would mess me up. I'd probably play that.
I liked it so much. I was actually kind of disappointed that like I kind of blew through all of the battles, but then the last battle is really hard, and then I overcame that, and it's like, oh, I just want more. Like that's how good it was.
I mean, that arena in 7 Remake, I stayed there for
the arena's
hours.
Fun. Mm-hmm.
It was a good time. Good side missions in that game. Level Capybara. Hello, Brandon. Hello, Ben. Hello, August. Hope you and the team have all been well. Ben, boy, am I glad you're on the showcase this month. You see, a certain review you wrote once upon a time got me thinking about larger-than-life bipedal robots, thinking about shadowy government organizations and mind-bending conspiracies, thinking about artificial intelligence, about virtual missions, about blondes on motorbikes, and thinking, of course, about nanomachines, son. And Ben, after all this thinking, I think it's time I put in the question to you.
It's funny because this could be, I'm thinking of like multiple reviews this could be.
Who do you think would win in a fight between the entire cast of 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, and the entire cast of the Metal Gear franchise? Both IPs have a surprising amount of thematic overlap when you think about it, but if they ever went head-to-head, the whole cast, who do you suppose would come out on top? The ones tasked with piloting the giant mechs, or the ones who have dedicated their lives to taking them down? Love and respect, Level Capybara. P.S. Brandon, in your defense, frost giants are totally real. They're called polar bears, which is a Bloodworth joke, because Blood likes to make fun of me and Cup of Jones.
Well, I think the thing that the 13 Sentinels cast has going for them is they're really coordinated, and that coordination only improves throughout the course of the game, right? Because they're trying to prevent the end of the world. But if we're taking like the power scaling of the Metal Gear franchise, I don't think it's even close. Like
Vulcan could take one by himself.
Yeah, like you have Vulcan, you've got like Raiden is like insane. Vamp is insane. So I think Metal Gear takes it if you kind of take the entirety of the series, especially the later entries.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Small Leviathan. Hello, Ben and Brandon. I've got an interesting mix of games to talk about today, so I'll be going through them in order from least to most exciting for me to talk about. Thank goodness.
Cool.
I'd be upset if we were going the opposite way, but all right, this is going to get better as we go. Let's go. I bought and completed Code Vein last month, and boy, are my feelings on that game complicated. Nothing about the combat feels right to me. The weapons have no weight, the attack animations feel flat and robotic, the levels are all either corridors with dead-end side paths or frustrating mazes, and I think I genuinely enjoyed all of that, maybe I enjoyed all of one, maybe two bosses in the entire game. But despite all of that, I don't feel too negatively about the game. The character creator is obviously fantastic, and I found myself kind of digging the setting and the plot and all of its shonen edginess. I think what I liked the most was how the game used Io, its firekeeper stand-in the story, actually doing something interesting with a character archetype that is usually very passive. I don't think I want to play Code Vein ever again, but I don't regret playing it, and that makes it good in my book, at the very least. The next one's for you, Ben. I finally decided to dip my toes into the Yakuza series with Zero.
Nice.
I'm at chapter 6 right now. I'm really intrigued by the story, but combat against goons is starting to feel like a chore already, and I don't know if I can stick with the entire series if it means 6 more games of this. That said, my favorite thing about this game is just how the protagonists contrast each other.
Yes.
Kiryu has a rough exterior, hiding a heart of gold, while Majima excellently puts in an affable facade despite being a complete rat bastard at his core.
Yes.
I love it. Okay,
Yes.
so let's talk about the big one. The game I've been fixated on all month, and I love this because this is in my backlog because of like the people who made it. Crazy. Sky the Children of Light launched on Switch at the end of June, and I decided to pick it up due to being intrigued by that game company's earlier works.
Oh, right.
This is every time I was like, what did the Journey people do? Like this, like they've been updating it constantly. It's been going to other consoles, and like I've never touched it. And you're just little winged dudes that fly around. It looks like a blast. I feel like I should preface all of what I'm going to say with my only major problem with the game. The frame rate is inconsistent, but consistently bad. Some areas make Bloodborne look well optimized in comparison. Ouch, I don't know why. I don't know. That was a jump from Sky over to Bloodborne. We were over here. We were having a good time, and then now we're back.
People like to take shots at the king.
It's kind of like Journey. If Journey had a bigger focus on giving you reasons to stick around after completing it once, but even if you only play through it once, it's a gorgeous little game, and its final level and ending sequence might just be one, if not the best I've ever seen in a game. Definitely ranking up there with other favorites like Spiritfarer, Undertale, and Lisa the Painful. Please play Sky. It's free and incredibly good. Love and respect, Small Leviathan. It's free?
Yeah, I
It's free
really
on
want to
Switch?
play Lisa. I think I would very much enjoy it.
It's on Apple Arcade, too. I think that's what it originally launched on. But,
Dude, I'm actually
curious about
like
that.
backed up on phone games. There's like
Yeah.
4 phone games I want to check out, which is a weird. I've never had that happen.
I just got wrangled into a mobile game
Well,
because
maybe not never, but-
I'm playing Warbits, which is a fun...
That sounds like a mobile ass
yeah.
mobile game.
Warbits!
Yeah, War.
I mean, I can show it to you, and you're like, "Yep, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I thought that would look
Yeah.
like." Basically, it's Advance Wars, but it's multiplayer, and I have 3 friends that were like, "We need a 4th." I'm like, okay.
Nice.
So I literally just sign in for them to just destroy. But I'm a variable, you know.
Right.
It's like I know I'm gonna make one of you lose. I'm never gonna win.
Right.
But I can slow one of you down right when you're gonna, take it into the end zone. I'll just like sneak in with a drone or something and trip you up. Next Gen Half. Hey guys, I played a few games this month. Here are some thoughts on my favorite 2, Crusader Kings 3. I love this game. I do cheat a little. I play as created characters with god tier stats with an immortality mod so they don't die of old age. I was immersing myself. It'd be funny if the game got scared of you because he's 300 years old. I like immersing myself in my character and the realms they create. If a character died, I would play as their descendant, which doesn't always feel as immersive to play, hence the immortality mod. In avoiding the singular mechanic, I've been able to experiment and mess with nearly every other system the game offers. It's been a blast. But most of my playthroughs are starting to feel repetitive no matter where I start in the world. I haven't changed up the mods I use, though. Thankfully, Paradox is releasing a major DLC later this year. I did not know that, to shake things up so I won't have to. The Royal Court expansion will let you merge cultures together or even create your own. Oh my goodness. The bigger feature it adds, though, is the DLC's namesake, Royal Courts. If you rule a kingdom or empire, you will have your own room for your court, a 3D area to explore, and interact with characters from your realm. You can decorate it as well as find artifacts during your campaigns and display them. They're adding a bunch of minor titles. What would Huber say? Like, player housing. It's going to be so much fun, I can't wait. Modders, they're adding a bunch of minor titles you can give to characters, like appointing someone to be your court jester. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait. Modders are already working on incorporating these features into their mods in progress, like the unreleased Game of Thrones mod, which will have the Iron Throne for your room, Monster Hunter Stories 2. Oh, sorry. I thought there was a Monster Hunter Stories 2 mod coming to Crusader Kings 3. Monster Hunter Stories 2. This is a very pleasurable playthrough. I love the story, finding new monsties, crafting gear, and at the start of the end game, every time people say monsties, I'm like, oh, they're being cute. Oh, wait, no, that's what they're called.
That's what they're called, yep.
But that end game does sadly start to beat you down. To find variants and elder dragons to battle is easy enough, but to find their eggs for their monsties is a chore. Either you have to come across a super rare den, which hardly ever appears, or you have to jump into super rare co-op missions, where at least one player has to use an SR ticket that costs 100 bottle caps. Whoa. A semi-rare currency that becomes harder and harder to find the longer you play the game. And even then, you only ever get one variant elder egg from each mission. The missions are fun to do every once in a while, but they slowly start to bore you, not fun to grind. At this point, whenever I start playing again, I'm excited until I remember that what I have to do to get the monsties I don't have. The Palamute update was a nice breath of fresh air. Hopefully the Culve update later this week is as much fun to play and makes the end game a little more enjoyable.
Yeah, what an interesting monster to add to that game.
How so?
Because Kulve Taroth was added to Monster Hunter World as like this raid boss, where you would have multiple teams of hunters trying to take him down.
Oh, and this is you and your party now?
Yeah, so I'm curious like how that's going to translate, or if any of those like layer mechanics and phase mechanics are going to carry over into Kulve. So yeah, it's cool.
Hope you all have a good August. Love, respect, next gen half. Right back at you. All right, this is spicy. You ready?
Okay. Hit me.
Stepan Hakobian. Hello, Ben and Jones. Ben, I've always loved your thoughtful reviews.
Thank you.
But there is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
In the last few months, I played Monster Hunter World and Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay.
Do you see where this is going?
No.
Monster Hunter World. I don't even remember any other game that I started skipping every story and every cinematic scene from the beginning of the game. They were so boring and poorly done. At first, I thought the mechanics were good, junky, but good. Only when I killed the same enemy for the 10th time to get a 1% or so drop, I understood this game is not moving on. This is just an MMO mechanics packaged in a single-ish player-style game. Maybe it's good for co-op? Maybe. The difference was, in that co-op, a few more people were doing the same thing. I don't feel like the game deserved the score you gave it.
Well, you are in the super minority in that opinion.
And your opinion's been packaged into a video, so
yeah,
I'm not expecting you to bounce on these. Meanwhile, Cyberpunk 2077. Every story scene was a gem. Every side quest was a gem. Characters in the game are written so good I have no words. The world of the game, I love it. While playing the game, I changed my playing style 2 times, so 3 in total, and every one worked. Enjoyed every one of them. I don't feel the game deserved the score you gave it. Be well. And where's Don't Skip? That's on all of us for not making Don't Skips.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. The world take, I am surprised by. From my time in World as well. The Cyberpunk take, I'm not surprised by, because that game runs the gamut from not only reviews but just like emotionally impacting people. Like I bounced off immediately. I was like, I'm good.
It's funny because I feel like the showcase submission is like a perfect illustration of like people just paying attention to the scores, which is, not the thing that we put the blood, sweat, and tears into, because if you actually listen to the review, the thing that I praise the most is the world and the characters and the writing and the emotional attachment to the story. So it's like, at least with his Cyberpunk opinion, I feel like he's regurgitating a lot of the opinions that I said in that review.
And the playing style, I only did one playing style. I'm pretty stubborn that way with RPGs. But,
I don't agree with the playing style.
I got that from Isla too. I got that from a lot of people who were like, there were a lot of things I wanted to do and signed up for. But what I appreciate, Stepan, nice and brief. Look at Sackle. Look at. Barely fits on my phone. You know what I'm saying? So again, it was biting. It was sharp. It was spicy, but it was brief. Jason Sackle. Jason A. Sackle, excuse me, with our final comment before we get into drawings. Last month was strange. Didn't expect One Piece to do a crossover with Where's Waldo.
I didn't know about this. That's cool.
Did it really?
No, I didn't know.
Well, that felt left field. Was neat to see the One Piece characters drawn into the Where's Waldo style.
Oh man, I really want to see this. Included image.
Yeah. Never has, never will. Last month was also different in the sense that it was the first time I gave up on a game complete. What's amazing is he has something One Piece to bring up almost every single month. One Piece,
One Piece is an institution.
It's insane.
Yeah, no, it is.
It's a religion. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
Last month was so different in the sense that it was the first time I gave up on a game completely in a while. Usually I will finish a game despite of what I think of it, holding out hope that something will grab me, something will let me see what others might find in the game. That doesn't always happen, but at least I would have given it the benefit of the doubt and the fairest chance I could possibly get it. Very rarely does a game try my patience to the point where I don't see it worthy of that chance of my time. To do that, it would have to be so insufferable to the point where not a single aspect of it was coming through as enjoyable. This game started off promising too. I'm terrified. I was digging the style of the game, the music, and even the initial aesthetic. The pace just rapidly slows down to a crawl. I can appreciate a slow pace. Not everything has to be quick. Unfortunately, to enjoy it would require at least, I hope he doesn't say what it is, at least decent characters and good writing. The writing is really, wouldn't that be classic just at the end of this? That would be stylish. Unfortunately, to enjoy it would require at least decent characters and good writing. The writing is really hard to get through. Not only is half of it uninteresting, but most of it just repeats itself over and over. The only thing the game managed to accomplish with each section of dialogue was getting me to care less, and eventually, not caring at all. After all the tutorials and finally beating the first level, I was hoping I would get to explore the first level. I was hoping I would get to explore the world more and have fun. Maybe it was just the beginning that was tedious, and the game would now start to pick up. This is Last of Us Part 2. I started some things where it said it had to be done in X amount of days. Well, shortly after starting, the game locked me into scripted events that took me past that deadline without even getting a chance to do what I needed to. One mission had me pass a place I needed to bring something back to. However, since it was not part of this dire mission, which really didn't prove to be time critical at all, I was unable. I really didn't want to like the game. As I mentioned before, I loved the aesthetic and the music. It had a vibe I really wanted to settle into. I just felt like I wasn't accomplishing anything, to the point that it was time to join the ranks of the very few games I've decided that was just an utter waste of time. Oh my god, it was utter waste of time. It's hard to get into it without being mean. I'm sure people put hard work into it. I just don't think I've been disgusted with the game to where I found how it treated my time to be this insulting. Thus, I deleted Persona 5.
Yeah, I knew it was Persona 5
It's
like
so harsh.
halfway.
It's passionate. It's definitely passionate.
Missing out.
I just
man.
wanted my desk. I just kept walking by my desk, and I'm like, this desk is filthy. When do I? Please.
Oh, in Persona 5?
When,
Yeah, you
when do I
can,
get to take tarp off the desk?
as it says in the loading screen, take your time. Take your time.
I can take my time with like demons and
Yeah.
evil teachers and stuff like that. But like,
It's so funny because they're like,
need a clean desk.
you'll get takes, and I've said this before. I feel like I've had this exact conversation before, where like somebody will be really mad at Persona 5 or Devil May Cry or Monster Hunter or whatever, and everybody will like gasp and look at me, and it's like, dude, I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
you're not making me dislike the game.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's fine.
It really has to do with the point,
Yeah.
there has to be something in there where I'm like, well, wait a minute, that's interesting. Like
Yeah.
that I want to at least examine or maybe, especially like in even bigger games, and somebody's like, I went in this direction and didn't like it. It's like, whoa, wait, try something else or try a different class but yeah, obviously, Jason's a lost cause in this regard. And
No,
Jason
it's okay.
says it's the first time he's ever backed out of a game. I can check receipts on that. I'll be back next month with at least 4 or 5 examples of Sackle Balin.
It's okay to not like games, whatever it is.
I mean, Sackle came after me with Spider-Man. Sackle is, Sackle.
We have a limited amount of time on this earth, and so if you're like, I don't like Persona 5, you just saved yourself 100 hours.
Eric Jackson. 100 if you're quick. Eric Jackson, hey Jones and Ben, cheers from Seattle. Unfortunately, I will not be able to submit any VO for this month as I'm still transitioning from one apartment to another. Sad to say that just as I was about to renew the lease on my apartment, my neighbor started threatening me for absurd things, like climbing on the building's roof and following him to his girlfriend's house and letting the air out of her tires and accosting my girlfriend for the same reasons.
This sounds horrible.
That sounds super bad. So, needless to say, I did not renew my lease, so it looks like this month I'll settle for a little commitment with a picture. Actually, I have a new microphone coming in tomorrow, and once I put it through its paces, I might even drop a little review for any allies who might be in the market for an upgrade, as I was. My original intention was to record the backstory in character for my newest D&D character, an Aasimar, College of Swords Bard Wild Magic Barbarian, living his best life on the high seas, trying to flee from those who would wish to use his abilities for selfish gain. The picture I'm sharing is a work in progress, but I've only had a couple of hours of time to work on it since it was yesterday's session, but I'm pretty proud of where it's at, considering I haven't shared fine art on the showcase in a while. Eric Jackson pisses me off, because Eric Jackson's like, oh, look at this, I can juggle. Oh, look at this, I can do VO. Oh, look at this, I can draw amazing characters. It's like, stop.
Oh, wow.
Stop.
That's really great.
Stop, Jackson.
It's got like
Stop.
an almost like 80s animated series vibe to it, which I mean that as a compliment. That's cool.
I honestly, for 0.5 seconds when I booted up, I thought it was He-Man.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Which-
yeah.
brought me joy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, it's He-Man, but in Prince of Persia. Wait.
Very excellent. That's like professional level.
Ripped. I just want to color that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to break out some crayons. I want to color that. I promise next time Ben is on the showcase, I'll have something a bit more substantial and memorable. I'll remember that.
Yeah, that's great.
Damn it, that's the thumbnail.
You did your job.
Keep spreading the love and respect allies, Eric J. Did a one-off Ravenloft D&D sesh. Created a character. We'll never go back to it. We all just like made weird old characters.
Yeah.
It was a very young, impressionable paladin. It was fun. It's fun being paladin. Lots of great options. Lots of paladins can do a lot.
When we did tabletop escapades, we did and adventures actually. We did some one-off sessions, and like, I don't think they were the most well received, but I always really enjoyed them. Like, it was nice having short stories that lasted one session you were out. I think just creatively, it's very satisfying.
And like all our Ravenloft stories were like teleported to these places, so my character's always like, "What just happened?" And like the other player's like, "Okay, let's move along." I'm like, "I'm not cool with this. Who are you people? How did I get here?"
Practical matters. Sarah wants me to tell you that Jesse BLM's is just a comment and ignore the link.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Thank you for.
Yeah.
Good thing I fixed chat. Got it. From Samuel Elmo. G'day, Ben and Jones. This is my first post to the community showcase. I think. I feel you. I'm a huge Digimon nerd, and I felt really inspired by that fantastic new card game. I've been drawing a lot more recently, so I've taken a crack at making my own fan Digivolution line. It's all kind of work in progress. This does not look work in progress, but here are some images showing them off. Take care and enjoy.
Dude, hell yeah.
Dude, hell yeah is right. Yes. Like, ooh, get up here. Yes.
Oh.
Right? It begins.
That's so good.
Actually, let me get all these going. Yes. Yes.
All right, time to bust out Digimon World.
Totodile vibes. Yeah. Yes.
This is great.
Yes.
That is something that's sick about Digimon, is it's just like, what if we just made it like a cyborg?
It's funny because like some people in chat are saying "aw" and like it worked. You're like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Digimon has a very
What's the
90s cool about it.
Everybody wants you and I to play the sequel to Silver and Gold, which is I forget all the time. It's not Black and White. That's
Ruby and Sapphire.
later. Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly.
Dude, Jones, if we did
Am
a
I just
Digimon
gonna keep playing
playthrough,
Pokemon games? Is that what's
if we did a
gonna
Digimon
happen?
playthrough, that would be pretty
Am I
crazy.
only gonna play Pokemon
Cyber
games?
Sleuth, here we come.
Or am I really gonna step outside my comfort zone? Am I gonna grow or not? Okay.
Jones, I think you would be really into Cyber Sleuth. I do.
And finally, just yes.
Yeah.
Just everybody, yeah.
Very well done.
Bring me in. Bring me into the world. Travis Miosi, hey there, Jones and Ben. I don't make art that often, and I only seem motivated when I'm making it for a friend. I'm trying to learn to make it for myself again. I wanted to share because normally I'm always negative about my art, but I think they actually came out pretty good, and I'm really happy about them. I always love to hear that. I love people who are just like, I'm submitting this, and I think it's cool. Yeah, I love both of these.
Oh, yeah, man.
Love both of these.
Nuka-Cola all day.
Verticality. The first painting I made is a Nuka-Cola bottle cap for my best friend's birthday. Fallout 4 is her favorite game. The second painting I did for a friend at work. Thanks for checking it out. I don't know how to refer to myself, so Travis or Obvious Decoy in chat.
Fallout
Thank you,
has
Travis and Obvious Decoy.
one of my favorite aesthetics in games, period. I adore it. I can't get enough of it.
What now, sorry?
Fallout,
Oh,
just in
nice.
general, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like weird. It's like I was never that into Fallout, but I love Road Warrior. It's like, you know, like Dirty Canyon Apocalypse is like, I get picky for some reason. I don't know why. Like,
Yeah, I know Hubert and Brad aren't that into it either, so.
if, like, here's the thing. If I had unlimited time, if I literally was just the singularity, you could just go, I would for sure play Wasteland 3. That looked so much fun.
Yeah.
Like that, a lot of the reports I was getting from people, I was like, oh man, I bet I would have fun. But
A legitimately
obviously I would
good
play,
sense of humor.
I would play
Yeah.
Divinity Original Sin first, and then I would play Wasteland 3.
Also a good sense of humor.
Right. From Chumnuan. Greetings, Ben and Brandon. I'll keep this up just for now. Been working on a group shot. Took months to finish since it was time consuming. And here are the characters in the group shot. Pew, pew. So here are all the individual characters.
Getting mild Bulma vibes.
She's an extra I added in the second phase, so there's no first draft for her. Wanted her to be differentiated from others, so I ended up posing her from behind. Checking something on the shelf. Nice. She was the most troublesome one to do. Wanted a bit plump, but ended up making her look pregnant. Honestly, should have just ditched her. Bummer. I think she's fine. At first,
I like that pose.
At first, she wore tennis clothes, but the pose made me change it to baseball. Oh, nice.
Getting like a King of Fighters vibe from this stance.
Had to resize her because she was really smaller than the others. And these are all coming back because they're all in the group shot at the end. Knew what she would wear, but totally botched the bangs. Sure, jeans and sleeveless wool shirts are basic, but it's cool.
I think she's my favorite one.
Yeah, no, I love June because she was very specific. Because again, some people are like, sometimes I draw some things where like June's like, her shoes, man, they suck. Like, you just feel very, very specific. And I love like looking at something he made and being like, that's great. And then reading like, sure. That's just the one thing he didn't like.
Reminds me of Kistis from Final Fantasy 8.
Oh, yeah. I understood that reference.
Nice.
She's the teacher, right?
Yes.
The beginning, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I proved it. So then there's the whole crew, and then I'm in this thing. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I like the
eye patch coming in.
I like Impa Lady a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, Alpha Chun-Li outfit. I see you.
Pre-coloring phase, I wanted them to have different clothes, and since I didn't know what to do with the second girl, I went overboard and dressed her as a dark elf. Wasn't happy with the face, so I covered it. She's pretty much a failure on my part. It's all messed up. Also, I have one eye patched because of a mistake during coloring, but I mean, that's not a mistake because she's badass now. Like, definite revolutionary vibes.
Mm-hmm.
She's putting that up. That's a package that somebody else is going to get later. That's a signal. It's very Half-Life. The rest turned out okay, especially the first girl. Feels like I did her right for not covering her other eye and clothing too. Chun-Li's alpha suit was a nice too, and the reason why I didn't go with her regular one is because I already had one.
Oh, nice. That's an excellent Chun-Li.
He's been one a month.
Yeah.
Been banging them out. Really proud of how she turned out, so I took all the time coloring her as it would do her justice.
You should be.
The colors turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. And finally, yay. Yeah.
Nice.
A good scene. I like the props. The colors turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. Probably my favorite Chun-Li drawing up to date. More drawings and commentary on them are on my Twitter. I completed Spider-Man with DLCs, 100%. 2 trophies left, but I have a platinum. That's a tempting platinum to get. I don't platinum mini games, but I had to do that one. But I hate Screwball in her mission. Screwball sucks. Way too much Screwball in that game. She's the worst. Also platinum Astro's Playroom. I'm at the 5th case in the Great Ace Attorney and loving it.
Further than me.
That's all this month. Love and respect. Tear Juengi.
But it is really fun.
And again, if you want to see all of this art, if you want to see even more stuff that all these people have done, all these Twitter accounts, SoundClouds, YouTube, you can check out patreon.com and find this post. And they post a lot of other stuff before. I mean, if you want more Tear Juengi, you shall have it. Tear Juengi hits that 9-image limit every single month. Shout out. Jethrin, hello allies. I've continued my goal of giving my daughter a drawing every day, and here are a few more that I enjoyed. I appreciate the kind words from last month. It's been a blast to have this goal to keep working toward.
What a beautiful gift that your daughter will like remember forever.
Yeah, and like I get in my mind that I'm just like, oh, he's like kind of, he's maybe like learning to draw. And then you're like, no, you're fine. Yeah, you're
fine. Tails.
Yeah, you're fine. It's like, no, you're good.
Oh. Yeah, these are so great.
Now, I wonder if your daughter's like, a Super Gonzo fan, or if like this was you being like, maybe we should watch Muppet Babies. If you like, what's he from? Muppet Babies. Let's watch. But shout out to not only the Muppet Babies reference, but Gonzo.
Oh,
super good.
I forget his name.
Cogsworth.
Yeah, he's great. Yes,
yeah, baby.
Caterpie.
I understood that reference.
Oh, I love that Caterpie. I love the purple outline a lot. Yeah, that's great. I would like hang that up.
Love that. I just love the attitude, the vibe. Morning.
Have you seen any episodes of the Pokemon anime?
Yes, but I mean super scattered. Like
Caterpie, that it'll make you cry. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh. We don't want you around anymore. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great aesthetic. Is that a fox or is that a dog? That's probably a fox, right?
That's a fox. That's definitely a fox. Yeah.
Nice.
Minecraft fox.
Thank you, Jethrin. Nathan Cotaroli. Hello, allies. I was unable to complete my Perler Bead project for you this month, but fear not. backup has arrived. My son Simon has subbed at the 11th hour with the drawing from COD Infinite Warfare. Please enjoy. There is a story behind that. Nathan slipping in. Yes. Maybe that should be the thumbnail. I don't know.
That is pretty sick. Yeah. That is pretty sick.
So good. So good, Nathan. Thank you. Yeah, Gothic with a piece of art that he mentions at the end, but I want to. I love Nick's style, and so I just want to throw that up there while Nick updates us on a very awesome life event. Hello, Brandon. Hello, Ben. I'm dead in the middle of work, and so this will be a little more direct than usual. First of all, Brandon, I want to say your Puppet Spectacular show was phenomenal. It makes me so happy to see you indulge in a format you adore so much, and you've boy, if there's one way to hate puppets, if you like puppets, is to make a puppet show. At the end of that, you're like, get these puppets.
You did such a good
me.
job, though.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
A very sweaty endeavor to make a puppet show. This job doesn't make me sweat that often. Let me make that abundantly clear. It was so funny and cute. It involved just the kind of improv comedy that's so endemic of Easy Allies. It brings a huge smile on my face that shows how you're a man of many amazing skills. It truly inspires me. Thank you. For Ben, I think I've heard from the recent Q&A that you skate?
Yeah. So last week, I think I went skateboarding every day of the week.
He asked, how's it going?
Oh, how's it going? So I'm a super beginner, so I'm just getting comfortable with the board. But like, I was kind of able to. There's this curve at the skate park that's where you're supposed to get your flow going, and I was having trouble like carving it and getting up there, and I finally got it a couple of times, and so I was proud of that. Working on the ollie, still can't get the ollie down, but I'm having a blast. Having a good time.
I skated when I was a kid.
I sprained my wrist.
But it was always long term. I never, no tricks ever. I never.
Really?
Even going from like the curb to the street, I would just pure speed. It's like kind of like how I ski.
Yeah.
I would just straight. But yeah, I would love running around. It was a fun way to get from A to B.
I just got a new board that I need to break in. I haven't tried it out yet. But...
Did I ever tell you about rollerblades? When I saved up for rollerblades, bought them myself, put them on, went up the neighbor's driveway, fell on my chin.
Ooh.
9 stitches. Only put them on 2 other times. I think that may be why when I stopped skateboarding as well. It's like, all right. I was so bummed. I got stitches here and I got stitches here, and I didn't get to see either of them. It was the only 2 times I got stitches.
Yeah, I might be in the
hospital. I had to stare at a doctor like staring at me.
In like the next
month.
We'll know. Yeah, you'll know.
But like, how metal is that? You know,
yeah.
Like, that'll be
well, it depends on what happens.
That'll be very jackass of you.
Yeah.
I've just started skating myself again.
Oh, nice.
And so far, I've been doing it for 3 weeks and counting. I wear pads and a helmet as recommended, and I've gotten the hang of just riding around from day one. It's amazing, and I was right that I really needed this.
Yes.
Skating gives me a sense of freedom and fitness. I really thought I needed. Everybody needs just some outlet to get out.
This guy gets it.
Yeah. And also a space to think. So far, I can only ride and not do tricks, but I'm not in a hurry for that. And I just prefer to watch skating tutorials on repeat until I feel confident enough on the board to try them out.
Yes.
To everyone who's afraid of trying it, skating is so easy. That first time you stand on the board is terrifying, but if you take video tutorials seriously, you'll build such incredible board confidence after just an hour. The first hour is crucial, and I haven't fallen even once. After a week of practice, now I have so much control of my board, I don't even think about it. It's like I've learned to walk again. Learning to walk. Another reason why I've wanted to learn skating is so I can meet girls, haha. Here in Belgrade, I swear there are more women skaters than men. This is me. This summer, I let my hair down a little, dyed it a shiny blonde, and got a white bucket hat. Speaking of girls, well, funny thing happened. Just yesterday before I was writing this, I had my very first kiss.
Oh, nice.
Feels embarrassing to say I got it at 28, and it's so late, but I was no less a wonderful, deeply sensuous feeling. I've never felt anyone so alive before. It enveloped my whole body, and I wanted to melt then and there. I wish I could have lasted forever. I don't know what this spells for me in the future, because I'm so new to relationships, and I am so scared, but I hope it's good things, and I hope it'll work out. Thanks for listening. It's not really my intention to get this personal, but I've truly got not much else to talk about, and I suppose I just wanted to show you what I'm doing. That I'm doing fine. Love, respect, Nick Gothic. At ClownBoss on Twitter. You know, skating.
Boy, that is something that, like, I don't wear any pads at all, and I should. I'm sure I will regret it soon enough.
Dude, Nick, your post was like a John Hughes film, man. Like,
oh, yeah.
I was just very uplifting, very happy. Put a smile on my face.
Great.
Put a smile on my face when I first read it. Put a smile on my face just
The
now.
way that he describes skating is exactly how I feel about it, so well done.
Anyone not expecting wholesomeness from the community showcase needs to know what they're in for, because it's only going to get more wholesome. And we even have metal, and it's still it's wholesome metal.
All metal is wholesome.
It's true. Off to find the hero of the day.
I'm not skating to meet girls. No. I'm not doing that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we got a comic
This
book in the
is
showcase, which I
fantastic.
love so much. We've been getting updates on this. We've got like inks and various
Are they
detail
making like a full comic
coming
book?
in. It's out, baby!
Oh, wow.
Mo Grant, Hey Ben and Jones, I'm back with the final update for issue 1 of The New Luminaries, as I'm happy to report that it is finished. Our artist JR was able to introduce us to DC Hopkins, an extremely talented comic letterer, whose experience was crucial in the final stages of the project. A link to their personal websites and Twitter are listed below. I'll mention them again, but again, if you want to follow all of this work, I'm just curious to check this out. Doodly-doo. Below are the completely finished lettered versions of all 6 pages that we have previously shown, plus the front and back covers for issue 1, inspired by the box art for Mega Man 3 and Castlevania, respectively. I also want to personally thank you and the community for all the positive feedback we've received for the past 2 months. The support has made these final weeks that much more rewarding, and those final weeks can suck when you are finally getting a project done, so I'm glad to hear that, Mo. And for those that would like to continue this journey with us, the issue is now available for purchase at our website, excellent plug, lucky33comics.com, in both digital and physical versions. Digital versions are available immediately. Physical versions will ship as soon as we get them. Quick recap of the synopsis for Ben. The story revolves around a mysterious event that causes some of the world's most notorious villains to randomly appear throughout the city, and it's up to a team of unexpected heroes to step up and save the day.
Very cool.
So this is the front cover art.
Thank you for the sub, Daddy Cakes.
Yes, thank you, mods. Thank you, everybody that is subbing. This is the first 2 sets of pages are part of the fight between Marissa and Razorwing.
This is really good.
And what I love is
It's like a dream come true.
She's-
She's fucking made a comic.
it feels good. I love following all of you on these journeys when you get these projects done, or even just close to being done. And I love the bubbles. And he says the squawk.
Yeah.
Again, he's just like, who throws his shoe? Honestly. For Marissa and Ezra as they set out in search for answers. We have seen these two, but we have not seen this. Again, I love a flying motorcycle.
Really cool colors.
Yeah.
It's reminding me of a specific superhero that I can't think of. The dresses in purple.
But I love Ezra. 5, Jack of all trades and his flying pirate ship. Full of goons descending on the local museum. And the next set shows part of the fight between the villain Helikinesis facing off against Charlie, the museum guard, who has acquired a bond with a magical sword, which we've seen before as well. Baseballing it right back at him.
Yo, baseballing with a sword.
I know. And our final hero of the issue, Nico Orenji, jumping into action. I think we have seen. Yes. And our back cover, a link to the artist, again, Twitter and the website. That's JR Harris, JR Comic Arts. jrcomicart.com, and the letterer, Twitter and website, twitter.com/DC_Hopkins.
Very
like
Power
Anthony
Rangers
Hopkins.
character.
And the website, linktr.ee/DC Hopkins, same as the Twitter. And the cover of the other issue.
Cat Ranger is my favorite character.
Yeah, box speed vibes.
Yeah.
Terrific, thank you. Let's look at some photographs. First from
Look
Katie
at
Holmes.
this! I can't be the first ally that's made that joke.
Dude, you might.
Oh, look
might.
at me! Look at me!
I think you win.
Who's the funny guy now?
Yeah, who makes the jokes now? KB Holmes. Hey, Ben and Jones. I'm so excited to have Ben on the showcase this month because I've been waiting to share what I think is my best crochet project so far.
Ooh.
Back in February, I showcased the crocheted Moogle and Chocobo that my wife and I had made. In the month since, I've gone on to complete one of the best games that I have ever played, which I actually heard about for the first time thanks to an episode of Don't Skip. Presenting
Ah, yes!
the little ghost from Hollow Knight.
Ah!
Last time I purchased an excellent pattern from Etsy, but the nail and the base were custom editions.
I would buy that.
The cape is fastened. You have no idea. You have no idea, dude. It gets better. The cape is fastened using a snap button, and I combined with the wiring I added to the arms. The knight is able to take on a very serious and threatening poses. Let's just try that. Yes.
Hollow Knight is one of the best games I've ever played. I like it more, I think, than even something like Bloodborne, I think.
Yeah, but do you like this?
You've got to be kidding me. You did stop motion? That is insane. Oh, and the cat in the box for bonus points.
I can't. we get it. We get a lot of amazing stuff. This one knocked me over a little bit. I was not prepared for this. The cat right on cue, the boss.
That's the thumb.
The
Dude.
HUD. I know.
Oh, and I didn't even see that before.
Yeah,
but the challenge.
HUD. Yeah, and it's that. Yeah. Woof. Orange, the big cat, is still being a menace about the house, so I've included a little tiny stop-motion animation of the knight preparing to challenge this bully. Hollow Knight is a truly special game, which contributed to how much fun I had making this project, from the crocheting and assembly to the stop-motion video editing and compositing. I hope you enjoyed what I have to show. I love this so much, KB. Love and respect, KB Holmes. P.S. Hashtag Hollow Knight for Hall of Grades.
Yes.
Hall of Grades.
I agree with you. I agree with you so much my voice cracked there.
I agree with you.
I agree.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, sweet.
Yes.
Black Widow.
Shout out for that film being distinct enough that I knew what this was from. Mm-hmm. You know, I was
it's
like,
the,
yeah,
it's
like
the
right
white suit. Yeah.
It's from Samuel Rosman. Aloha, Brandon and Ben. I hope this summer is treating you well so far. I've really been enjoying the content from the studio again. Mwah. Back to webcam. Seeing the group camaraderie and how infectious hype can be is always a great to watch. The Tribes of Midgard and Sea of Thieves streams were especially fun. Has your hand hurt lately when you're streaming? Has any stream brought you to that level?
No.
The only one I think in the last
Maybe
couple of years,
Diablo.
Tribes of Midgard.
Yeah.
By the end of that, I was like, okay, I never stopped moving. Like you just, even when I would like stop at like a vendor to like upgrade something, I was like, okay.
Blood really sold it well on Frame Trap. It sounds cool. I'd like to do it with all 8 of us.
It's like survival race.
Yeah.
You know, like it's so, you know, like in Don't Starve, you're like, oh, I should pick up the pace. You are sprinting through Tribes of Midgard. Like, yeah, it is very stressful in a good way.
Thanks for the gift sub, Snarky.
Thank you. Oh, nice. As well as the glorious return of, and I cannot wait when Isla gets back. I cannot wait to play more Sea of Thieves. We're doing all the pirate stuff, the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff. As well as the glorious return of Gundam construction. Sorry, Loki's catchphrase has invaded my common vernacular. Any possible return of Grounded? That would probably mostly be up to Island Bloodworth. I'm a bit behind on that.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to spend time on something, I'd probably put it into Midgard. You know what else I gotta grind?
What's that?
Black Panther comes to Avengers in like a week. Uh-oh.
Jones keeping it alive, man.
Yeah, baby. My current game playlist has shifted somewhat as of late. I tried Genshin Impact recently for the first time. I did too. I played a little bit of Genshin.
Oh, really?
A couple months ago, yeah.
What'd you think?
I enjoyed it. It was really fun. It was a little, yeah. It was, stiffer, obviously, than Breath of the Wild. But there's more stuff you can do in combat. But
it's a very enjoyable game.
I think the thing that pleased me most was just how quickly I got into it. You know, just how quick it was to get in there, get a character, get going.
It's also gorgeous.
It is very pretty. It's a game that feels like it's going to be around for a while.
Yes.
It feels like somebody took the open world system from Breath of the Wild, the companion system with Star Wars: The Old Republic, threw in a bunch of microtransactions and dressed it as a fantasy anime world. It's fun in small doses, but I don't see myself sinking any considerable time into it. I've also been playing the New World closed beta and having a great time so far. Yeah, I think that game bit me. I think I'm gonna try it out. My friend,
did you play it?
No, but there's no rush.
Yeah.
The aesthetic is really strong for me. I really like that jam.
That's like
I've seen characters of all different classes, and I'm like,
but I'm not into the aesthetic.
Yeah.
But the ideas that it has seem intriguing to me. Yeah.
If you throw your dart somewhere in the 18th or 17th century, I like it. My friend has been trying to get me into Sea of Thieves, also because the Jack Sparrow DLC looks friggin' great. It is. And it just gets better as you go through. But I just can't stand the forced PvP aspect of the game. I tried the demo a long time ago, and it's hard doing stuff on your own. It's near impossible. Without having too much to worry about some douche jumping you and your ship and wrecking everything. I also jumped back...
Well, they're pirates. I don't
know
if it's fair calling
well,
them
no. It's dude. It's the same logic. Yeah, when people are like, "Yeah, that guy beat me in Grand Theft Auto because he bought the expensive race car," and it's like,
yeah,
well,
yeah,
it beat you in real life too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just that game seems to be about money. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. When they literally have like ads for their game that are like guys like shooting dudes with briefcases and dollar bills like falling out of them. It's like it's a mood. Also jumped back into Avengers for a bit. Where's Spidey, though? Seriously, don't be expecting Spidey anytime soon. Spidey, they're going to take their time.
It is a good question, though.
Yeah, no, they announced you're going to get Elder Scrolls 6 before Spidey comes to that game. As for movies and TV, I'm really enjoying Bad Batch. I like that he asked about Spidey, but also jumped back to Avengers for a bit. That's it. That's that. Nothing else about Avengers. As for movies and TV, I'm really enjoying Bad Batch. And Evil, the second season of War of the Worlds, has been a decent watch. And Loki was amazingly fun, along with Black Widow. I gotta check out Bad Batch. I was also really pleasantly surprised at the amount of video game music played during the procession of countries in the Olympic opening ceremonies. Some were easy to pick up, like Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, Monster Hunter, and Kingdom Hearts. I think Chrono Trigger and Nier were in there somewhere as well. I would have liked to share this month. What I would like to share this month is a result of the aforementioned return to Gundam streams. I managed to finish 2 sets from my Marvel backlog, so I hope you enjoy them.
Awesome.
Yes, we got 2 others too that fit so beautifully right next to each other. Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. Where do you put all these, Sam? I don't know if you've shown like your whole collection, but I wonder where these are in your house. Quick question for Ben: do you have any recommendations for a Gundam building toolkit, clippers, etc.? I want to start working through my Playmo as well. Playmo.
There are 2 things you desperately need, and then there are things that are nice to have. 2 things that you definitely need is you need like model clippers to get the pieces out of the grid. Just look up like Gunpla clippers; they're very easy to find.
Nice.
And an X-Acto knife. You can use that to kind of like cut off some rough edges, and it's just useful to have in general. It's called an X-Acto knife. Things that are nice to have, if markers for detailing. You can get like a spray that really makes it look nice, and you can get a filer. But you don't need those stuff. You want the clippers and you want the X-Acto knife for sure.
Let's play a game, baby. Oh no, is this gonna pop up? Oh no, close your eyes. Ah, go away. Okay. From Austin Kruckmeyer, hello allies. It's been a few months since the last time I showed off Jeoparody, and for good reasons. Jeoparody version 3 has been released, or 0.3, and now includes image, video, and audio clues. For those that don't know, Jeoparody is a Jeopardy game show application that allows you to host a full 61-question session of Jeopardy, complete with daily doubles, Final Jeopardy, and now multimedia clues. You can download it at cowfish13.itch.io/Jeoparody. That's Jeo Parody, Parody. Again, I want to share my clue writing, but this time I'll only share 5 clues, with the last one being read by a special guest. The session I want to share is okay, wait, I'm sorry. I think I was confused with this, because you posted a link as well with video, whereas I was like, I don't know, yeah. I think we might be missing out on one of these because I did not grab the video. But I feel okay with that because that's images and video, and that's more multimedia than anyone else has done for the showcase, so apologies for not showing that. I will show the other 4. Apologies, I did not do the special guest. He sent me video, because one example is Jesse Blue said, oh, I just left a comment, but left a link in case people want to check out what Jesse Blue is talking about. I thought it was that. I thought it was like, hey, if you want to see the full thing, the actual game that happened. The session I want to share is a session I wrote for Frank Howley's birthday, a streamer and gameplay capturer for NoClip. A lot of the categories were specifically for him, but the questions I pulled can hopefully be solved by any avid gamer or geek. Ben and Twitch chat, feel free to play along. Thank you for all that you do. Love and respect, Austin Kruckmeyer.
All right.
Correct. So yeah, there is a video for you to check out. Apologies.
I do like Jeopardy.
So here we go. You ready to play?
Yeah, let's do it.
Shenmue began as a Sega Saturn game named Virtua Fighter RPG, with this fighter being the main protagonist.
Who is Akira?
Akira is correct. Nice. After 2000, this development studio would exclusively develop for the Xbox due to the studio's head Tomonobu Itagaki's desire to work on the most powerful system at the time.
Who is Team Ninja?
Correct. Crushing it. Famous Atlas mascot and 2D DEY sticker and pin, Jack Frost starred in his own game Jack Bros, which was exclusively released on this system. What is the Virtual Boy for 1600?
Yeah.
I knew this one at least. Creative director for Doom, Hugo Martian, found inspiration in this Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans movie when crafting the self-aware narrative of the game.
I'm blanking on who Damon Wayans is.
Oh, was of the Wayans brothers. He was, Damon Wayans was Blank Man. Surely there's got to be other Damon Wayans films that I can recall.
Is it Fifth Element?
No.
Okay. I don't know.
What is The Last Boy Scout? Yeah. That's deep.
Don't know.
Yeah,
know
baby.
That one, yeah.
That was a deep cut. Blank Man. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Major Payne. Okay, I remember that. Yeah. I can see him smirking on the cover. I'm curious what other Damon Wayans films. But In Living Color was the Wayans main introduction to fame. That's when I first saw him. The Wayans brothers. The Wayans, they're Damon Wayans' brothers, Keenan Ivory Wayans. His son is hosting something now. Such a crucial piece of information. I'm so glad that I mentioned it. Very quickly, another comment. Excuse me.
Whoops.
Comments. Again, I thought this was going to be an audio post. You can check this out, what Jesse Blue is talking about, but this is a comment. Hello, Jones, Ben, and chat from Jesse Blue. Greetings from the Midwest. I hope you are all well. Yada, yada, yada. Enough small talk. I have an announcement to make. This weekend, I uploaded my very first YouTube video. I've linked it in my post. I know 2020 was messed up for a lot of people, and it messed up all the goals I had set for myself, so I had to postpone them. What 2020 didn't count on was this community being so strong and supportive and having my back and my hopes and dreams in their own minds and hearts. This will be an awards acceptance speech of sorts, as I spend the next 400 words thanking everyone who helped make this day possible. Thank you, Ben and Jones, and each and every one of the 8 allies. You have supported each other, figured out how to continue to make content in the midst of the work-from-home order, and continued to be creative in ways none of us watching could have anticipated. I love each one of you, and I thank you, to all the contributors at the Community Showcase tier, from Eric Jackson and Sarah Knight to Mr. Coneman and Brian from Happy Gaming, Nick Clownboss and Kevin Gillet. You're creative. Believe they are all in this one. I think they're all here, all represented in this showcase specifically. And even if I don't think it's that great, everyone here sees the flaws in their own creations, but we, the audience, just see the heart and soul and talent poured into it, so I don't have to be worried anymore that you will like it. I love each one of you, and I thank you to MXA Ghost, Emily Wolf, Uzi Suicide, yes, even Uzi. I see you all in chat and in JLV streams, and you help me laugh and blow off steam when I'm not in a mindset to be creative and I need the downtime. I love you and I thank you. And to RF Switch, my soul sister, you've been there for me in the best and the worst, pushing me when I need it and letting me cry, but not for long. Telling me not just that I'm good enough, but that I deserve to do what makes me happy. And now I found something that makes me happy. I love you and thank you most of all. Announcing A to Z bedtime stories anytime. A YouTube series where I narrate and perform children's books, a chapter or 2 at a time. I've posted excerpts from the first episode, Alice's Adventure in Wonderland, on the past few community showcases, and the first episode is now up for anyone to check it out. The video element is just a static picture of the book cover, but for the series, I thought it was the simplest way to get started. I'll continue to learn and grow with your support. Maybe down the road I can reach my other dreams. Thanks again, everyone. Love and respect, Jesse Blue.
Always keeping pushing. I like it.
Yeah, when we get questions at like Q&As or when people like talk to me, in person, like, I'm a content creator. Do you have any advice? And it's like, this advice sucks, but just make a ton of videos. Yeah. So as you're going chapter by chapter, if you've had, like you were saying with the image, and if you've been able to creatively set goals and you can maintain those,
it's funny
that's
because
the biggest thing. Just doing a ton, you will learn so much.
It's funny because I feel like I'm getting this lesson again with skateboarding, but it's like, oh yeah, you just have to suck. Like, and it's hard to just let yourself suck, but it's like, no one starts out and they're amazing. You have to just suck for a while, and then eventually you'll suck a little less, and you'll suck a little less, and eventually that'll turn into being good.
I know Jesse Blue is potty trained before, and me and the missus are going through that right now, and it's that is tricky to have patience. But it's like, in the book I'm reading, they talk about...
It's hard to suck with poo.
They talk about like the phases you got to get through and building on the various successes and steps of understanding and everything. And then they're like, if your kid regresses, that's fine, because we all make mistakes. And specifically, she quoted, she's like, when was the last time you got good at something and then never made a mistake doing it ever again?
Never.
It's like, he says, doing the community showcase into a webcam. So if my son poops on the floor, it's okay. Listen to some tunes. Finally put some headphones on.
All right.
And
you said there was metal?
I adjusted these to my specifications.
Okay.
If you need any of this to be louder, just let me know.
Yeah.
Lean forward and crank it. From Michelle Jackson. So I'll be real. I did forget about the showcase completely. So it's Monday night. There's no way I could have time to edit a video, so I have some music. It's the enemy-based battle theme from the game that Michelle Jackson is developing. You will have heard this song before, but not in its entirety and not without characters shouting over it. So I hope it is still enjoyable. Michelle, it rules, and I will jam to it right now. Nothing's going to happen in the image, by the way. It's just a laser.
The first thing that came to mind was kind of a Chrono Trigger vibe, but I don't think that's the best comparison to make. Yeah, Secret of Mana might be a better comparison. Yeah, this is good. Love me a good baseline.
Again, we talk about people being very humble with their creations. Michelle Jackson will be talking about like a new aspect of the game, showing off gameplay or how something was coded or developed. And there's like, oh, and then this track's in the background. It's like, wait, this track though.
Yeah.
Like, can we talk about the story's cool and this is neat, but like this jam.
This is excellent.
The beats in this game.
I know Michelle really loves Persona 3. I can hear some Persona 3 in this. Yeah. I wonder what software she used to make the music, because that's really good.
Oh, would you like to see some music editing software, Ben?
Yeah.
I got some for you. I got some coming up. First up, though, with the aforementioned medal that I promised to deliver.
Yeah.
From Kieran Little, aka Mr. Coneman. Hi, Jones and Ben. I'm submitting a slightly older video this month because I hadn't been sure which ally it would be most applicable to. But last time Ben was on, he asked, can I just have some guitar solos every time I'm on the showcase?
Yes.
Yes, Ben.
Please.
You can. Anyway, here's a medley of battle music from the criminally underrated PS1 JRPG classic, Breath of Fire 3. Enjoy, love, and respect. Have a great summer. My dudes.
Oh, and even went the extra mile of including game footage.
Yeah, his game footage. Yeah. That is okay.
Look at this magic. I wish I could do this so bad.
But then you see
More
someone
than
do it
most
and you're like,
things.
ah!
Yeah.
Few things are more intimidating to watch than somebody who just absolutely knows.
And I really respect somebody that puts in the extra time to make it super clean, that's not hitting the fret, that's like, I don't know, extra level of polish.
Mission Made USA, aka Michelle Jackson, uses GarageBand.
Nice.
Jack dabbled in, get some done stuff for you.
It'd be one thing if he was just a sick guitar player, but he's cranking on that bass too. Those Breath of Fire 3 graphics are pretty sick. Mistaken, but is he doing the James Hetfield method of just down picking? Oh no, there we go. There was some method. Okay.
Does Hetfield do that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He just down picked. I mean, I'm sure not always. Yeah, great vibrato is correct. Just fucking fantastic. And you're ending it on a fanfare. You have a talent for editing is what you know.
From Kevin Jalay. Hello, Brandon and Ben. To follow up last month, I've had a lovely time revisiting Skyward Sword. Also, 60 FPS Zelda is good.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
I know Ben expressed a fondness for the amount of shredding guitars in the last showcase. But this time, I'll let my fellow musical contributors take care of this with their usual mastery, for I will submit something quite different from the Bowser madness I gave you on Ben's last appearance.
Okay.
Because something massively influential has happened since last time. The crisp, crack, clap. So here's a piece done.
Do you know what this is referring to?
Yes.
Okay.
I was there. I was playing the game you were watching at the time.
Okay. You're right. Yes, it was. I forgot it was Drake's.
And I was talking over it.
Yes.
The crisp crack has me talking about like being lost. I was like, all right, I'm looking at the map. I don't know where I'm going. I was like, it's because I died and I was making my way back around.
Oh, I'm glad.
Playing Dragon's Dogma when the crispiest crack occurred. So here's a piece done exclusively using the crisp, crack, clap trademark, manipulated in different ways, enveloped in the background by the full sound stretched to last exactly 3 minutes. And the unavoidable Jones cameo saying, can I not... Oh, there it is. Can I not get through here? While playing Dragon's Dogma when Ben performed the crisp masterpiece. Until next time, happy cracking. Love and respect.
That was such an odd stream.
Can I not get through here?
Stream.
Me looking at a tunnel on an RPG map.
Be.
Well, Ben is cracking. I'm so excited.
That's the best crack I've ever done.
Yeah, I'm addicted to this crack.
The peel of the tab.
Can I not go through? Can I not get through here? Can I not get through here?
That's a good thing to add.
How did he get isolated though? Where's it gonna go? Where's it gonna go?
This is the best thing I've ever contributed to.
I don't really let one ear go, but I gotta go both. I gotta go both for this.
We gotta get a little Huber in there as well. That might be my favorite part of it.
It's great to see it coming up. Reverse crack coming in.
This is so creative. Originally performed by me. Now this is all you, man. Yeah, this is like an 8-bit RPG thing. Very good, very good. Bravo, bravo.
I'd love to see the thumbnail for that. I don't remember if I saw it. Kim makes good thumbnails too. And is, good at music and stuff.
Extremely talented music. He always crushes it.
Our final musical piece from Kim Nick H. Greetings, Ben and Jones. Continuing with the Hypothetical Easy A game soundtrack, I bring you the hip and jazzy fields of your adventure. where musically inclined, Furby-like jazz musicians wander aloof to the beats of their grand master. Who is this person? Collect some musical figurines and you might find out. Love and respect from Sweden.
I feel like we should bring him out for this.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit. I've heard this before. Oh, okay. No. It's over here.
Put the Jones butt shot on the Wikipedia. Update the wiki! This makes me want to play a 2D anthropomorphic platformer.
Also, I get beat 'em up vibes.
Yeah. Like a Scott Pilgrim.
Sure.
Like a Scott Pilgrim shop.
Oh, it's about to drop. It's about to drop. Community showcase. All right.
Hey, that worked out.
It worked. Videos. Just for the record, though, he's not. Rubes is in our community. He's a paid employee. He's yelling. Just want to be specific.
Gets a cut.
From Happy Gaming. Hey there, allies. I hope your summer is going well. As you remember, I was going on a vacation back to my home of Washington State with my girlfriend just after the showcase. Last month. It was a really positive experience, if a stressful one. We both hadn't been around such a large amount of people in a long time, and it took some getting used to. All in all, I think there were close to 30 people with my nieces and nephews, family, spouses, etc. It's like the opening of Home Alone. Apart from all the people, no, I added that. Apart from all the people we had to be around, 3 of my younger extended family all had colds. It was a slow burn. Basically, everyone got sick one after the other, making us slowly cut the camping trip short because everyone was miserable. Being sick while camping.
No, thank you.
No. You want extreme comfort when you're sick, and camping's not known for that. Overall, not my favorite way to end a camping trip, but it was still a lot of fun experience to see the family again, especially given we're getting all closer to moving back every month. This month, when I finished up the review I was talking about last month on What Remains of Edith Finch. Still one of my favorite games, but for some reason a certain cut wouldn't sync up in the export with what I had in the edit. Been there. It's after the 3-minute mark, so I don't think you'll see it, but it's been frustrating the hell out of me. Regardless, I hope everyone watching enjoys the first part of the review and goes on to watch the rest. It's a really special game to me, and I hope I do it justice despite my sloppy editing with Premiere.
I don't
sloppy editing?
I don't think I've ever had any piece of software just not work in the most confounding ways as Premiere.
Well, the problem is with Premiere, a lot of times you don't know what's going to happen for another 20, 30, 40 minutes.
Yes. No.
You gotta walk away and then come back and like, I wasted that hour. Cool.
It drives me insane.
yeah, the moment he started getting into that, I was like, I know Ben can back me up on this one.
Yes.
Other than that, Polymega is releasing soon, so hopefully I'll have details on that. Love you all, allies, love, respect. Brian from Happy Gaming. So yeah, I'm gonna cut you off, Brian. But you got 3 minutes. Go.
For the first time in years,
I
felt like I was
love
home.
this game.
The acting in this game is out of control good.
But instead
Yeah,
of
good
a
score.
family, there were just memories of one.
The memories that we hold of our lives can be like the thread of an intricately crafted tapestry. While it may be easy to follow a thread we remember, we're never truly capable of taking a step back to look at ourselves as a complete whole, a cohesive picture of what someone else sees. When we're gone, all we can be are the memories that someone else holds of us. Memories hold a strong narrative and reflective power in What Remains of Edith Finch, and just as importantly are the ways that it contemplates death, as well as its importance. Few games have such a humbling, quieting power, to be so achingly sad, but still hopeful, leaving a presence of deeply silencing contemplation on the fleeting nature of life, and how we search for meaning in our own, through others' deaths.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
In What Remains of Edith Finch, you play as Edith, who is returning to her empty childhood home after a long absence. She, as we find out, is the last in a long line of Finches. For over a century, the family has been believed to be cursed, as every member has strangely met their demise in some way or another. Edith is back home to put the pieces of the family together, and to acquire the knowledge of who these people were as she slowly unlocks the doors of the house she thought she knew so well. Upon first entering the house, after venturing slowly through the silent wooded front path, listening to the sounds of the quiet and birds, climbing the steps to the towering behemoth that was home to the Finches for so long, Edith recounts to us her memories of the house, and What Remains of Edith Finch becomes something of a ghost story. There are no specters or apparitions to be found, but the home is haunted by memories. We float through it as a silent spectator, listening to Edith's recollections, and taking in the small details that give the house a life of its own. It's melancholic to walk through every bit of the home, as tiny bits of detail strewn about overwhelm every nook and cranny, from books about cooking to pictures hung on the wall overlooking the beautiful waves and sky of Orcas Island. In a way, just walking around the house itself feels like something of a memory. Having grown up in the area myself, it feels like stepping into a time of a place I maybe once knew. Looking at remnants of a family we try to remember by piecing together their lives through their possessions. Even before we are witness to any knowledge of the Finch family, there's a deeply personal and intimate feeling to the way the setting draws you in. And once you're inside, it doesn't let go.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
The Finch home expands like a towering puzzle box. Rooms that have been closed off for years are connected through a myriad of secret passages, each leading to a room that once belonged to every member of the Finch household. The rooms are each, in some way, a mausoleum, representing one who has died, all with interesting visual histories, as we read final words from them, or the family members and people that they were closest to.
Bam. Happy gaming! Stay tuned. Go to their channel for all of other reviews that they have done. Went a little past 3 minutes, too. But nonetheless, jarring. Sorry.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Yeah, that format of review, I could watch many of those in a row, nonstop. Adam Henschel showing up in the video department. Adam Henschel usually rocks out or gives us some very soothing tunes, and I was like, oh, Adam Henschel's not writing a tune. But Adam Henschel's here to talk about Dark Souls, which is also very
What's that?
Hey, Ben and Brandon, over the last year, I finally gave From Software's catalog a shot, and while I've yet to play Bloodborne and Demon Souls, my time with Sekiro and the Dark Souls trilogy has been nothing less than stellar. So naturally, I ended up writing and recording this video to discuss why the Souls games resonated with me so heavily. Also, since I'd be remiss if I didn't get some music in there, the piano heard in the background is an arrangement I wrote of the main theme from Dark Souls 3. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful August.
Video games are often discussed as a form of escape, a way to separate one's mind from the stress that can occupy their day-to-day. However, what that escape can entail can vary wildly from person to person. While many find solace in the relaxation found in open-world adventures, or a few rounds of multiplayer at the end of the week, What From Software has managed to cultivate through their Souls lineage is a way to unwind through focus and concentration. While these experiences are notoriously well documented for their level of difficulty, and while I'd find it hard to argue that these games are at all easy, the reason for their lasting appeal requires a bit more nuance. What From Software has created is a series of games that, in short, simply ask that you care. The most admirable angle to this approach is that the game design doesn't accomplish this goal by railroading the player into learning and adhering to a certain playstyle. Instead, the games allow for such an immense level of player freedom, granting total autonomy over just about everything. What armor should I choose? What weapon fits my build the most? Do I even pretend to know what's going on in the story? What armor should I choose? Looking back on my time with the franchise, it was this aspect of the series' design philosophy that resonated with me on an extremely personal level. This past year saw me in a mental state that fluctuated between just about every emotion in the book. And while I managed to find my fair share of distractions through other outlets, gaming became increasingly hit and miss in terms of capturing my long-term attention. As new releases came and went, there wasn't much that satiated that childlike desire to be completely swept away and engrossed in an experience. Now, yes, I'm aware that the story might seem a little familiar, yet another retelling of how Dark Souls managed to pull me from the brink of despair, and in doing so, managed to ruin all other games from now till the end of time. And this simply isn't true. In no conceivable way has the Souls franchise lessened my love of other games. If anything, it's strengthened my appreciation for the medium as a whole. Despite all that's been said, these aren't perfect experiences, as they feature some glaring design decisions that were questionable even at the time of their respective releases. But you know what?
Good boss to show
That's
for
okay,
that statement.
because what this series has the capability to do is far beyond just the sum of its parts. It engages you, it challenges you, and to put it quite bluntly, it asks you to give a damn. And during a time in my life where the act of caring about anything seemed nearly impossible, this series took it upon itself to remedy that. And I, for one, am forever grateful.
Man, Majula is beautiful.
So many like scenic shots. I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
That's some of my favorite stuff to do. I get sad when I like capture a bunch for review and I don't use them all in the edit. I'm like, I gotta put more of them in. Thank you so much, Adam. Sarah Knight. Hey, Ben and Jones. Hope you guys are doing well. So here was my week starting on July 25th. Sunday, I got the second shot of the vaccine. Felt good, though my arm was sore. Monday, I woke up early, but felt fine. Then the side effects hit. When they say that the second shot hits you like a truck, they weren't kidding. I spent most of the day being in bed with a headache and feeling overly tired with a fever. At least I had Disney Plus on and was watching behind the attraction. Yes. I think my favorite episode from that was the Tower of Terror episode, as that ride was very sentimental to me when I visited Disneyland in 2016 for its last Halloween, and just listening to the Imagineers talk about it gave me the feels. Tuesday I got better, with only a lingering headache, so I decided to spend that time recovering from that harrowing experience, and played Neo The World Ends With You, that entire day, and got up to day 6. Worth it. Wednesday, got back into working on the webcomic. Since that happened, I haven't had too much time to make a new panel from scratch to put video together, so instead I put together my process of coloring the panels, and why not do it with one of my favorite panels from episode 9. We left a little unfinished, and while left a little unfinished and needing some shadow fix-ups, I figured I'd leave a lot of it up to your imagination. Hope you guys continue to stay safe and be awesome to everyone around you. Much love and respect, Sarah Knight. P.S. For anyone that hasn't heard yet, the Allies are selling the Kill Your Babies card game on their Roost merch page. Go check it out. And Sarah Knight, I love these. I had a thought about these when I was getting this clip, where when I watch Sarah Knight working, I feel like I've done something. Like at the end of this video, it's like, wow, I just did that thing. That's great.
Oh, great. Solid pick. Now I want to color.
I know. I want to color that thing Eric Jackson did.
xylophone in gaming.
Just not enough.
Not enough xylophone.
Not enough xylophone in the showcase, to be honest. Kevin Gillet's like,
Heavy metal xylophone.
xylophone.
That's my
It's pretty low on the list, Jones. But xylophone. Get more xylophone.
Very interesting.
I love this. Yeah, the brushes. It's always fun to go through like super fast. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm getting a lot done today. I've really been productive in the last
If
2
only
minutes.
it were that easy. If only. So meticulous.
I know.
I respect it so
I'm
much.
so excited to read this.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to check out the final project. I remember all of these characters and all of these things. Ambient occlusion on. Yeah.
Very soothing.
Yeah. From Ian Alexander. Hello, Brandon and Ben. This month I'm submitting a gameplay video of Wildermyth. Or Wildermyth. It's a slow-paced game, so it was a challenge to edit an hour or so of gameplay down to 3 minutes. But here you go. Love, respect, Ian at Alexander_arts.
Why does this sound familiar, but I can't
Greetings,
picture
allies.
it?
Today we're going to be playing Wildermyth, the procedurally generated, character-driven, tactical RPG. And for our player characters, we're going to be making members of the Easy Allies. Here we are with our future warrior, the compassionate goofball Michael Huber, our future hunter, the decisive poet Brandon Jones.
Thank you so much.
And our future mystic, the hot-headed intellectual, Ben Moore.
Accurate.
Hot-headed,
Accurate.
all those potcakes.
Yes.
I always
accurate.
imagined them as big clocks with legs, and it seemed kind of silly, y'all. Huh. Nightjaw was always our go-to threat growing up. Now that was a monster. Run! Crack. Crunch. Oh, they may not bleed, but let's see if they can die. Hubert, grab whatever you can swing, come on. Okay. I can choose a rivalry with Brandon, a friendship with Brandon, or a romance with Brandon.
Oh my.
Oh, romance,
Hubert
please.
picking up a giant piece of wood to smash things. I think that's pretty Hubert. Let's do this one. Now's the time to use all those cheesy battle lines you've been saving up. Sounds about right.
Yes.
Whoa, jeez. Hubert's excited. Alright, let's see, Jones. Can you hit him with your bow?
I hope so. Yes!
Yeah, 2 damage.
Huber.
2 damage, Jones.
Attack.
Thank you, Huber. Thanks for the backup.
Oh, you smashed him and knocked him back. Alright,
Very
let's
nice.
go, Hubert. Slam him. Yeah! Victory! We're gonna go with engage for Hubert. He's gonna be like, bring it on! Okay, and for Jones, obviously, go for
Yeah.
archery.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Ben's
I
gonna
appreciate
go
it so
for
much.
a fire attack here.
Yeah,
first
that's what
order
I would
of
pick.
business, we break these things down and hack up their parts. Second order, though, we can't very well go back to sweeping cobblestones after this. Here, follow the tales of easy allies. Okay, we can recruit a friend. So now we're joined by the snarky loner, Isla Hink. And then the fox says, it's been the whole
Accurate.
time.
Yes.
Accurate.
So loud, you
What
two.
is-
Heard there's more foggy around.
What is
here
happening
somewhere.
right now?
You were being noisy again. Ben! Ah! No, we're gonna jump in and help. Die! Whoa. Brandon, calm down.
Did I get kidnapped by a
Ben,
spider?
You move here. We'll interfuse with this ruined table. Then we can explode the table to hit this guy.
Whoa.
Isla, you can probably finish it off with your dagger.
Stealth.
Victory! Oh, Huber and Ben are now rivals.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, this- oh, man.
Well, there you go. That's a little taste of Wildermyth.
Oh,
Very
boy.
charming.
See you next.
What a sell.
Ian Alexander.
Oh, Ian,
I
what a
love that.
sell.
Yeah. Well done. Well done.
From RF Switch. Greeting, Jones and Ben. So before I begin, a lot has been going on for me the last few weeks. Bad stuff. I'll spare you all the details for now because I'm still in the middle of it, but I do want to thank a huge chunk of the EZA community for helping me stay together through all of this. I also specifically want to thank Jones, as his name as well as meditation crossed my mind at the apex of my anxiety in this, and it really has helped center myself to keep me from having a breakdown. Right. Anyways, Themis the Cat Girl inspiration video. You're welcome. It's good to hear. Sorry, Ben, we talked about Themis herself last month, but no weeby cat girls who love One Piece to talk about today. But that doesn't mean we can't talk about a couple of beautiful dorks. After all, it was Trevor Baker's idea to get our fearless heroine to read manga in order to learn how to read, and her adopted father Zeke O'Malley did bring her to her first anime convention, where she was discovered by the joy that is DDR. Where she discovered the joy that is DDR. That said, let's go into a deep dive into these two comic book store employees' love and respect, RF Switch. P.S.
Cool.
I was going to show off my RAP4 arcade stick I used, or just RAP4. Do you know? Never mind.
Wait, what?
RAP4 arcade stick?
No.
RAP4 problem. I bought using almost 20,000 tickets on my round 1 card, but I don't have the energy to pull it out at the moment. Also, those are stage glasses. I just thought they would make me look like one of my characters for a bit. PPS, Ben, whenever you want to kick a go at length with the JRPG conversation, my body is always ready.
That's the story of my life, man.
Yeah. When are you going to talk about some RPGs? Damn it!
Rise up in the moment. Stand up the feeling. Oh, sorry. Different community showcase. So, Zeke and Trevor don't exactly have influence. Sure, Trevor's last name is Baker, you know, like a certain Time Lord from Gallifrey. And yeah, Zeke's name is a mixture of a certain side character from Infamous with the creator of Scott Pilgrim. But their influences are more inspired by... For example, Zeke's influences come from my nerdiness. In the first book of Themis the Cat Girl, very first chapter, his way of calming down at the end of the night is playing Persona 5. In chapter 2, he goes
Relatable.
to work and buys
To some.
a
To most.
some.
To
To
most.
some.
screwdriver
yeah.
with lights and sounds that he uses for his 10th Doctor costume in book 2. Boy loves his sci-fi and his JRPGs. Just like me. Trevor's a bit different, though. Their influences come from the surprising Puerto Rican community of Portland, Maine. I know because some of them were my customers when I worked for Radio Shack. It'd take a long time to explain everything about Trevor, but the most notable thing is that quite a few of the influences came also from the Easy Allies.
Yes.
I was going to make Trevor's
Back-to-back
musical
influences.
choice punk rock. Then I decided to take a page from Isla and go with synths. As far as the
Very
as
appropriate.
far as you're concerned,
Yeah, like reading the
Ben,
book. Why does Synths have
Trevor
Ys
got
in
an
it?
influence when I was writing that short story, Grudge Match. After all, why else would I make a video game fighting game tournament around King of Fighters,
Nice.
where Trevor's main is king. But anyways,
Always a
That's
good art
all.
to have.
love and respect.
Love and
Back
respect.
to work.
Back to work, yeah, no kidding.
Rise up in the moment to stand for something more.
Now partly believe that there's a poetry community showcase out there.
There are showcases. There's secret showcases.
Secret showcases.
They only have to. I've tried to get into them. Well, Schmuck, howdy, Brandon and Ben. Rip and tear! I recently went through the new Doom Eternal Master level on Nightmare, and because I suck, and because you can't save your progress, it took me almost 10 hours to get through.
He does not suck.
I streamed it, twitch.tv/Schmuckford, and this is an edited video of me getting through one of the fights, as well as some extra clips at the end. Enjoy. P.S. There's some colorful language at the end, just FYI. I don't think it's anything worse than what we would hear on a group stream or anything, though.
Schmuck is the best and biggest Doom fan I have ever seen. Ever.
Take it away. Nice. Wow.
This game is a ballet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that weapon switching on point.
Yeah.
You can't even it's so dark you can't even properly see, and he's still able to identify the weak point.
There were a couple times I didn't even notice the weapon was swapped until I saw the stream of the bullet going. I'm like, what fired that? Oh.
It's Brandon, it's all about weapon switching. Like, it's so important. Doom Eternal is the only game that has made me use mouse buttons because I needed weapon switching that fast. Yeah.
Even just staying in the same hallway for a while, but
And you got so many just essentially cooldowns that you have to pay attention to. Flame belts, grenades.
Oh, that's much ammo, man.
Yeah.
That ammo count in the corner.
There's nothing like when the glory kill prompts up and you're just a little ways away and you're like, oh god! We gotta get there! Also, this song never gets old.
How fuck is he?
Man, the aerial slowdown is so essential. Like, I can't ever not have that perk equipped.
Fuck yeah!
Nice shirt!
Alright.
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas.
It's already easy. Language.
This is the vast majority of the day.
Just immediately, dude.
Yeah.
Immediately. I can't even figure out what's going on in this last phase. Hi, dude.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Are you fucking shit?
9 hours and 53 minutes. What a battle.
Wow.
I love it. The final boss.
Finally. Jesus H, dude.
The final boss in Ancient Gods Part 1 is probably like the most frustrated I've been with a game.
Woo!
In a while. Well done. Beautiful.
From Radioactive Magic, hi, allies. My first showcase. Nice, sorry, nice. You're over there. It's where I... Although I have done a few projects over time, this is the first I wanted to share with you. As a game developer, I just created my own YouTube channel discussing game design with my chosen topic of... Pokemon.
Nice.
Among the YouTube channels that inspired me to make this series, Easy Allies is there due to the high quality writing and editing. Yes! And my desire to match that quality. I particularly wanted to thank you, Ben. I always found your reviews and don't skips to be articulate and insightful. It's over 3 minutes, but you can just watch the first 1 or 2. I just want to show you they exist. And this is how they are turning out so far. Love, respect, stay safe, Damon, aka Radioactive Magic.
Hi, my name is Damon, I am a game designer, and I want to
I love
ask
your
a
art.
very important question. What if the Pokemon franchise was rebooted? Not a remaster where the game is the same but given an updated visual look for the most recent consoles. Not a remake where everything was built from scratch but made to play and look like the old games.
Fantastic
A
premise.
full, proper reboot, as clearest seen with games like Tomb Raider 2013 or Doom 2016. This means everything you know and is established about the world of Pokemon is irrelevant, as every aspect can be redesigned. The story and world, art style, the battle mechanics, and even the Pokemon themselves can be completely reinvented towards a new universe of the franchise. Everything from the previous games is left in the past to create a new era of Pokemon, one that takes everything we've learned and builds it better. I'd like to explore this idea and reboot as many aspects of the main game series as I can. This is going to be a study and practice of game design. It will work to cover a lot of Pokemon's designs and features under this premise. I will go through the broader topics of things like battle mechanics, animation and art style, story and world building, and planning for future games. I'll also be taking a look at specific elements such as the Pokédex, Pokemon Bank, evolutions, and many more.
Please talk about the Pokédex.
As a small disclaimer,
please.
obviously I have the benefit of hindsight from seeing how those games turned out, and lack insight into the likely very challenging process of how those games were made. This isn't what I think Game Freak should do with the Pokemon franchise, but everything you could do with it. Some of the designs I put forward are only good as thought experiments, not necessarily good to actually put into practice. For some ideas, I want to get into the nitty-gritty details, while for others, I'll just be giving outlines and broad concepts, highlighting questions that would need to be addressed by a design team.
Bring back
This is because I don't want to get stuck making 10 videos filling out every part of a concept when an outline makes my point just as effectively and leaves room for your own imagination. As I go through these topics, I try to keep in mind the endless stream of obstacles you would have to be wary of in game development, such as budgets, deadlines, available workforce, and needing to appease the investor overlords. I'll also be recommending videos from other channels that relate to the subject matter, and I'll likely comment on these videos when they come up. I think it's a good idea to see what other people have to say on the matter, especially from people involved in the games industry. Some of those videos might even be longer than my own rather lengthy videos at times, but they will always be entertaining and worth watching.
I love just one called Pokemon Battle Animation. Yeah.
So, why consider doing it? This could be two questions, actually. Why am I doing this study, and why should Pokemon change?
This guy deserves a sub.
Yeah, such a perfect stop.
Sub to Radioactive Magic. That was great.
Get in on more of those.
Fantastic.
And again, if you go to
Inspiring.
patreon.com/easyallies, which is not on fire. We're not on fire right now. We're not.
We are on fire!
We are on fire. Our community is on fire.
Yeah.
You can check out, again, links to all of this stuff and previous posts. From Robert Sevenley, hello, Ben and Jones. This is a video of my latest run from Bloody Palace and Devil May Cry 5 from stage 90. It's been a year-long obsession that keeps annoying me because Bloody Palace isn't actually that difficult, but I'm not Ben Moore, who probably beat this in his sleep.
No, I haven't even gotten through Bloody Palace with any character yet, so you've got me way beat.
2 years on, I still love the game. Warning, do not expect any style or elegance in combat. This is pure brute force. Ben, thanks for keeping DMC in the conversation. I believe you're the only ally that still brings it up. Brandon, thank you for gracing us with your magical voice.
That's true.
Hope you have a great day. Love and respect, Robert Lee. That's what you use me, to use my voice to talk about Devil May Cry. Nice.
101 stages of increasingly difficult battles. You can't use any items, and once you're dead, it's back to the start.
Damn it.
Oh.
Let's go!
We are kindred spirits, I think. That fight is truly the sickest, though. Those guys are a pain in the ass. I really could say that about, like, almost every PC sound.
This rage that's inside me, pulling past the shape dancing on is bringing by fire of the abyss. And let's have her eyes canvas, it's the this vengeance inside me.
Jonathan Green on piano.
Holy stars running through my head. I'm on fire, face burning red. Frustrations getting bigger. Bang, bang, bang. Never trigger.
What do you want? A medal? I don't even remember what I said there.
There's no way anyone could tell.
Yeah.
We probably couldn't find that even if we tried. Put like hundreds of people
That's
on
some
it.
BM Ben there.
Yeah.
Ben, great work.
That's some deep BM Ben.
You're 1,000 times better than me.
That was very entertaining.
Fun to watch.
Beating down Brian, Hey Jones, Ben, and Chad, fans of the showcase may know I like sim racing. What you may not know is that my interest in it stems from a love of motorsport. It is the only interest which I've ever rivaled my love of gaming, but as it turns out, running a dairy farm doesn't exactly leave much time for hobbies. However, last week I got to take my first days off in a couple of years, and I used that opportunity to prep my old 1992 Honda Civic rally car, visit my local circuit for a track day. So join me on board for a lap and a bit around a damp Mondello Park circuit in County Kildare, Ireland. It wasn't my fastest lap of the day, but it was a fun one. P.S. While I know Ben Moore loves a good high-octane thrill ride, I know this might not be everyone's thing. Just pretend it's Initial D. Take it away. Love this. I was like, wow, those graphics. County Kildare.
This is awesome.
Not Country Kildare. County Kildare, thank you.
I feel like it wouldn't be impossible for me to get really into racing.
Yeah. Again, man, I just downloaded the Crew 2, put like 20 hours into it because I needed this. You know? I needed a little fix. Needed some drift. You don't scuffle as much when it's real life. you don't shorten that gap as much as you maybe would.
I want to do this.
Not your car.
This looks so much fun.
Oh, dude.
I wonder how fast he's going.
So does he. Weather effects this game are really solid.
Just the sound.
I wonder how it feels. Yeah, the sound effects. The sound effects are really.
I bet it's exciting, man. It's like the buzz that you just don't come down from.
Mine feels the beat. I gotta know how track day works though. You know?
Yeah.
Do they open up the track and everybody just has at it, or like events? Like,
Yeah, I wonder how much
when
this
was
costs.
this during the day? Did
Yeah,
Brian have to
yeah.
wait to do this, or did you just jump right? I have so many questions. You hit about 100 miles an hour on the back straight. Not too fast. Just a hundo, just triple digits, no big deal.
I was going. Have you ever gotten the highway today?
There's one. I will say this. There's one. Back where my brother lives. When I'm leaving my brother's place to get onto the 405, there is one stretch of freeway that there is just not. There's no one ever there, and it's just this one little gap before I get on the 405. I'm like, I like to punch it, Bishop, whenever I can.
That was
Much more
wonderful
so in my
footage.
Infinity than this. I love
Super
that
fun to watch.
so much.
Yes, yes, yes.
We're all just playing video games like suckers.
Yes, I agree.
From fellow hello fellow allies, back with another video, and this time of a big shot YouTuber streamer. I think you'll like his stuff. Enjoy.
What is up, Internet? It is finally time for the next 180 hours of delayed input. We've got ass loads of uninsightful observations,
Nathan,
boring
Jacob
jokes,
Lavelle?
and of course...
Nathan. Yeah, it's, I was watching a Kyle Bossman video. Nathan, no. Okay? I thought we agreed you wouldn't watch him anymore. I know. YouTube recommended it, so it just came up. I'm sorry. So? I don't know, there's just something about it. I feel like there's gotta be something more to it. Like, what is he actually saying? He wasn't saying anything, Nathan. That man is like the Joker. Caitlyn is the Joker. That's been established. How much did you watch?
I've kind of, frankly, lost my damn mind.
There's no question it would be Shinnok. He is the definition of one bad daddy.
Like the Mucinex boogers, or the MyPillow guy. I drank too much soda. It's hard for me to critique the things that I perceive. I can think of a couple of prominent features that gamers may be eager to ogle. Tifa's breasts.
That is perverse.
It is, Caitlin. That's a good word, it's perverse. The Noid belongs in Sekiro. Shrek is inevitable. You already got me stooping to Shrek jokes. We're already here at Shrek. I'm not going to Logan Paul.
So I can make a root bear float.
Okay, I don't have that.
Bye-bye. Like Shrek outtakes? Oh god, he's doing Shrek jokes. No, not like what you're thinking, Jen. They're different. He left easy allies to just do shit like that. No, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and defend him, but I think his circumstances changed. Anyway, so...
That was a good
I heard this one has nudity. Both. Okay. Let me grab some trail mix. Sorry, Crash. This is a bigger world than you understand. Whoa! You knew what you signed up for, kid. No! Maybe. I could have arms like Cloud. Maybe. Bro, I've gotten way worse.
That's good.
I've got 0 V cards. He likes literature, history, and is perilously horny.
That is gachonkalis.
Get your shit together, Sony. This is a classy show. This is a highbrow show. I wish Pokemon was Yu-Gi-Oh!
Been on his Patreon posts. What the fuck? You're giving him money?
No, I'm...
Nathan.
I don't want to talk about this. I was... What is this?
Fantastic. One of those a year I will allow to these guys. Zappan Dude, finally with our final post, final video, final anything of this showcase. And no credits. Sometimes people post and they're like, "Oh, this is my safety post. I'll have something. I'm writing a poem." And I'm just like, no, none of those that I believe that I could find. Someone said their post got deleted and they reposted it, but I already grabbed it. I'm feeling fairly confident, but that's always a bad thing about feeling confident that I got all of the posts. Zatvandoot writes, "Hey fellas, rushed out this little video to share my love for Genshin Impact. Patch 2.0 came out recently, and I thought this would be a cool way to entice some people. Shout out to Mbun and Red Sky for the inspiration and help throwing this together. It's entirely recorded in-game using photo mode and just pan in the camera. Oh, and if anyone cares, these may be considered spoilers for Patch 2.0. Come back in 3 minutes. Love and respect." Come back at the end of the showcase. You're gonna miss it.
Rito. Legend has it that hundreds of years ago, Lord Hiragi Hiroshi of the Kanjo Commission miraculously built a prosperous trade center from a deserted island and greatly impressed the shogun. In these days when the Sakoku Decree was in force, the headquarters of the Kanjo Commission still flourished. However, the merchants from faraway nations languished, and the streets were no longer the bustling appearance of a century ago. Perhaps this is the best reflection of the business of mortals. Those who become successful overnight will also lose everything in a day.
The colors are so good in this game.
Inazuma City. The many streets and lanes of Tenryou intersect and cross paths, and finally gather in front of the Tenshikaku, the undisputed center of power in Inazuma. The outskirts of Inazuma City exude a time-worn and leisurely atmosphere as you make your way up the old paths. It seems that the prosperity of the city has not influenced the scenery here. The power and grace of the shogun can also be observed here, bringing a quiet and different kind of vitality.
Ben, for a honeymoon,
Shinju
let's go.
Forest.
Yes.
Legend has it that in the past,
I'll pay
this
for the whole
sacred forest
thing.
was once
Yay!
home to many demons. To this day, the legend of the Hayashi of Tanuki still surrounds this tranquil woodland. Grand Narukami Shrine. The Grand Narukami Shrine is located at the peak of Mount Yogo. It is the largest shrine in Inazuma and provides a much-needed comfort and peace to the people of Inazuma in these unsettling times. Kanazuka. This ring of islands surrounded by jaggy, rocky terrain is a perfect topographic barrier to the shogunate's smelting facilities. The magnificent blast furnace here is used to produce a steady stream of high-quality jade steel for Inazuma. Recently, however, due to the war, the Mikage furnace that drove the production has been damaged. Kujo Encampment. Legend has it that during a disaster hundreds of years ago, a mortal general whom Her Highness valued greatly built a battlefront fortress in one night and fought valiantly against the forces of darkness. Hundreds of years later, the descendants of the Kujo family have also inherited outstanding military engineering skills. Musojin Gorge. According to the legend, the strike that brought an end to the Serpent God was slashed right here. In this deep canyon that runs through Yashiori Island, the remnant reverberations of lightning bolts continue to this day, as if the Thunder Elves are still chattering about the legendary scene that tore through the sky and earth thousands of years ago. Serpent's Head. According to the legend, the giant serpent that once ventured into the deep sea was finally slain on Yashiori Island. It is also said that when the sea breeze passes through the eyes and sharp fangs of the giant snake, sounds of a whistle will ring in the wind. That's the requiem it composed for itself. Now, this requiem also provides for those who have fallen or were displaced in war.
Yeah. Tempting, man. Because it's just one of my favorite things to do in video games is just run around a world. Just run around and...
Dude, just get in the habit of doing dailies.
You see that mountain? Yeah.
Just spend...
You think I'm afraid of dailies?
30 minutes on it.
I played Avengers. I remember, were dailies like always in Warcraft? There was like a time when like dailies, like now there's a thing.
I mean, always no. I mean,
well,
now that I say that, I don't know.
But I wonder if you could do, because I remember like
they're
jumping
more...
in a Burning Crusade and doing like rep quests.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were repeatable, but...
They've been more standardized now than they were in the early days.
Thank you for all the subs and resubs throughout this stream. Thank you to our moderators for handling all of this. Thank you to everybody's patience for using a strange webcam because I couldn't get the camera to work.
And thank you to Pikachu.
Thank you to Pikachu. We did get to talk about Pokemon.
Yes.
This has been the Easy Allies Community Showcase. Again, this is our $10 and above tier on patreon.com/easyallies. We put this together at the end of the month. If you want to be a part of this in September, near the end of August, I will put up the post. The next Community Showcase will not be until the 9th of September, so that post will go up probably in 2 weeks, maybe a little bit more. Before that goes up. So if you just want to be at that Patreon level tier for the month of August to be a part of the September showcase, be sure that you post that before the end of August, but that post will go up somewhere in the last week of the month. Obviously, if you have checked any part of the showcase out, you know we have a very talented and wonderful community that supports us via Patreon. Again, thanks for all the subs and resubs, and I saw some people pledging on Patreon at various levels as well. Thank you for your continued support at the showcase or on other tiers. And a giant shout out and a round of applause. Ben Moore, sitting on the couch with the headphones on, which we do not need anymore. And we will be doing our group stream. We'll be playing Here Comes the King, which was brought up in this showcase. If you want to see all of us play that, we will at 6 p.m. in an hour and a half, an hour and 33 minutes, we will return for the Easy Allies Tuesday night group stream, and I will be back with Daniel Bloodworth on the 9th, I believe, or the second week of September for another episode of the Easy Allies Community Showcase. A blast. Thank you, sir. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you, participators, community.